My child, stop everything. Yes, you heard me. This is not a suggestion. This is a summons. I'm not whispering today. I'm speaking with fire, and it's aimed straight at your soul. Because it's urgent. I need to speak to you. Immediately. Not later. Not when it's convenient. Now, what you're about to hear carries divine consequence. This isn't comfort for the casual. It's revelation for the ready. Stay with me from beginning to end, because every second of this word is a piece of something I've hidden for this very moment. If you walk away halfway, you miss what was meant to break the delay. I have a message that holds the answer to your wrestle, the reason behind your waiting, and the release you've been begging me for. So sit still. Listen close. And do not blink. Because by the end of this, you won't just have heard from God. You will know I was speaking only to you. My beloved, pause. I don't ask, I urge. This very breath, this very second, this very turning of your attention has been written into the scroll of heaven long before time wrapped itself around your days. I formed this moment before you ever knew pain, before you ever whispered questions into your pillow, before you ever wondered if I still spoke. Yes, I speak. And I am speaking now, not in metaphor or mystery, but in clarity that will split the fog of your confusion and silence the shouting of your fears. I have orchestrated a stillness around your soul because you were moving too fast to feel me, too burdened to recognize me, too distracted to hear the urgency in my whisper. But now, child, I have you here, and I'm not letting you miss what I need to say. This moment is not casual. It is not routine. It is holy. I am not merely visiting you with words, I am encountering you with revelation. You have paused, but not by chance. Heaven has exhaled, time has slowed, and my spirit is leaning in close. So close, closer than your heartbeat, closer than your next thought. I have bent the arc of eternity just to speak this word into the soil of your spirit. And I need you to stop everything, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and meet me here without filters, without rehearsed prayers, without the mask of performance. You do not have to impress me. You do not have to pretend you are fine. I am not impressed by polish. I am moved by presence. Yours. Fully. Undivided. Away. Because what I must say now cannot be received in pieces. It requires your whole heart, your whole listening, your whole surrender. This isn't another devotional. This is divine dialogue. This isn't another encouraging thought. This is a consecrated turning. You've been walking with questions buried under routine. Why now, Lord? Why the stillness? Why the stirring? And here is your answer. Because now is the time I've chosen to awaken what's been lying dormant within you. Now is the time I've called your spirit to attention. Not just to comfort you, but to commission you. What's coming next cannot be met with passive faith or partial attention. I need your spirit alert. I need your ears tuned, not to the noise of culture or the pressure of people, but to my still small voice that is shaking kingdoms from the inside out. Your pause is not weakness. It's obedience. And this obedience is opening a gate to revelation that others will miss because they would not stop what you did. And so now, listen, for I will pour. There are times when I speak through dreams, symbols, and shadows, but this is not one of them. This is direct. This is urgent. This is eternal truth handed to you in the plain language of love. Do not underestimate what you're hearing right now. This is not just for comfort. This is for recalibration. You've been pulled in too many directions, asked to answer too many demands, and I've watched your spirit bend beneath the noise. I was never the one pulling you in 20 directions. That pressure was not holy. That anxiety was not from my throne. But I waited, patiently, until your spirit felt the weight of it all and cried out for something real. And now that you've slowed enough, now that you've turned aside like Moses before the burning bush, I am speaking, not from a cloud or a mountaintop, but from within the fire of your own chest. I am in the ache. I am in the pull. I am in the pause. And I am speaking with fire that refines, not burns. Listen closely, child. This is not the moment to move on. This is the moment to be moving. My child, this is not mere coincidence. This is divine collision. You thought you were simply scrolling, passing time, numbing your weariness with another search for meaning. But what you stumbled upon is what I strategically aligned for this very breath. You didn't wander here. You were wooed here. This is not a digital accident. It is a spiritual appointment. Heaven itself has marked this instant with eternal link, not because of anything you did to earn it, but because I have longed, yes, longed, to reach you in the sacred hush between your chaos and clarity. The static of life has tried to drown out my voice, and yet here you are, reading the very words I etched into this moment before your days ever began. I summoned you not with noise but with need. I summoned you through the ache that wouldn't go away, the sigh that lingered in your chest, the fatigue that couldn't be solved by sleep. I summoned you through silence, through struggle, through sorrow, and you responded. That single act of stillness shifted eternity. You must understand this. The silence you've been walking through wasn't my absence. It was my arrangement. I needed the world around you to grow quiet enough that your soul will remember the sound of me. The urgency you feel right now isn't anxiety, it's alignment. It's the divine drumbeat of heaven echoing inside your ribcage. You were not just selected. You were summoned, like a prophet pulled from the crowd by fire. And I've waited for the stillness to become spacious enough in your life for this conversation to flow uninterrupted. You've mistaken the waiting for abandonment. But no, child, the waiting was worship in disguise. I saw you keep showing up. I saw you whisper my name when the answers didn't come. I saw you press your ear to the heavens, wondering if I had moved on. But what you didn't realize was that I was right there, drawing you closer by divine delay. And now, because you paused long enough to receive, I will speak loud enough to remain. The language of heaven does not shout over distractions. It waits for surrender. You have surrendered more than you know. You have laid down expectations you didn't even realize were idols. You've released timelines that once felt like lifelines. And I see how that surrender cost you. I see the places where you let go not because you had all the answers, but because you couldn't carry the weight of another unanswered prayer. And even then, you kept your posture low, your hands open, your heart tender. That is why this message meets you like thunder wrapped in tenderness. You didn't need another poetic phrase or inspirational echo. You needed prophecy. You needed power. You needed personal revelation, not performance. And I am giving it now. I am speaking now. This is the sound of me unlocking chambers in your heart that pain had tried to keep padlocked. This is the voice that knew you before words ever left your lips. So lean in. Don't minimize this. Don't file this away as a nice word. No, beloved, this is the word. Living, breathing, targeted like lightning to your soul. The kind of word that shifts not just your day, but your destiny. I didn't summon you to comfort you with cliches. I summoned you because what's coming next cannot be walked out with half-hearted devotion. You need clarity, strategy, purity, and strength, and I'm imparting all four. What I say in this hour will rearrange what you thought was permanent. It will unseat fears you assumed you'd have to carry forever. But it begins right here, in the awareness that this isn't coincidence. This is command. My command. My call. My claim on your life rising again like fire shut up in your bones. You were summoned, and because you answered, nothing will stay the same. This pressure you feel, it is not random. It is not emotional overflow. It is not an overactive imagination. It is the sound of heaven colliding with your schedule, colliding with your thoughts, colliding with your every breath, because I, the Lord your God, refuse to let you take one more step without knowing that I am here, and I am involved, and I am intervening. This tension is holy. This moment is charged. What you're experiencing is not confusion. It's divine compression. Heaven has bent toward you, and when heaven leans in, everything begins to tremble. The air thickens with glory. The ordinary becomes saturated with the eternal. And now, child, I must speak before the turn comes, because what is ahead requires revelation, not reaction. I do not want you stumbling into the next season based on instinct or intellect. I need you armed with insight. That is why this urgency is alive within you, because the timeline is shifting, and I refuse to let you miss the path I've prepared. There is a turn coming, and not just any turn, a divine corner where decisions will define direction, and direction will define legacy. I've orchestrated this encounter because you are nearing that inflection point, and without my voice guiding you now, you could easily veer into survival instead of stepping into strategy. You've been sensing that something is stirring. You felt the tension rise even when everything around you looked calm. That's not anxiety. That's the advanced sound of angelic movement. That's the echo of my hand writing what once seemed inevitable. I am breaking in to disrupt the lie that says you have to figure it all out on your own. I am breaking in to dismantle the timeline of delay that tried to convince you were too late. I am breaking in to reroute your heart away from hopelessness. And I must speak now, because if you try to enter this next chapter without this word, you'll carry yesterday's burdens into tomorrow's blessing, and I love you too much to allow that. Let me be clear, child, you are not where you used to be. You are not who you used to be. But if you continue to live by old instructions, you will sabotage new invitations. That is why I am stirring your awareness. That is why my voice feels different right now. Not because I have changed it, but because you have. And with that maturity comes responsibility. I am inviting you into a deeper layer of obedience, one that doesn't just follow me when the path is visible, but one that trusts me when the path feels invisible, yet undeniable. This is the kind of trust that opens doors no man can shut. This is the kind of hearing that moves heaven into earth. Do not ignore the shift. Do not brush off this weight. I've wrapped this word in urgency because delay would be dangerous. Not in parliament, but in misgrubberation. Hear me. I don't want to just bless you. I want to prepare you so the blessing doesn't break you. And so, I speak now, with thunder in my whisper, with fire in my breath, with compassion in my command. Because what is coming will require a clarity that no man can give you, no book can teach you, and no voice can substitute. You must hear me for yourself. That's why I called you here, not just to feel better, but to know better. Not just to survive the next storm, but to speak peace to it before it even forms. I am readying you, child, for a pivot that will feel sudden to others but has been slowly prepared by me in secret. You are standing at the edge of unveiling, and this message is your instruction manual. So do not delay. Stay here. Stay open. Stay engaged. The turn is closer than you think. and I won't let you take it blindfolded. My beloved, listen closely. What you've been calling pressure, stress, tightness in your chest, a weight in the pit of your stomach, that is not emotional chaos. It's not circumstantial strain. It is my divine urgency. That heaviness that doesn't lift with rest. That awareness that something's shifting even when nothing outside has changed. That is me. I'm stirring your atmosphere like a pot on the edge of boiling because I refuse to let you settle into comfort when I've designed you for conquest. I refuse to let you bow to routine when I've branded you for revival. You felt it in the middle of your distractions, a sudden halt in your spirit, a tightening in your thoughts, a flicker of holy discontent. And child, that is not something to fear. That is the signal that my voice is rising, my strategy is coming, and the realm of your purpose is rumbling beneath your feet. You see, there's a stirring when heaven begins to move. It's not soft. It's not subtle. It's spiritual thunder wrapped in invisible winds. When I begin to shift your seasons, I shake your atmosphere first. I rearrange your focus. I wake you up in the middle of the night. I send interruption after interruption. And it's not to torment you. It's to target you. To realign what the enemy has tried to scatter. This is why things that used to soothe you now irritate your spirit. This is why comfort feels like compromise. Because I've upgraded your calling while you were still operating under outdated settings. You cannot walk into what I've prepared with half your heart preoccupied. I need your whole focus. Not out of fear, but because what's ahead is heavy with glory. You're stepping into rooms your name has already been whispered in. But those doors will only recognize the version of you that is fully present, fully awake, and fully aligned with my timing. I've stirred your atmosphere not to burn in you, but to brand you. I'm marking you in the spirit right now, distinguishing you from the crowd, not with fanfare but with fire. Fire that burns through distraction. Fire that makes apathy unbearable. Fire that sears through the soul and demands attention. What you're experiencing is not burnout. It's birth pains. And yes, it hurts. It pulls. It stretches. But it also signals that something inside you is no longer content to remain dormant. The visions I planted in you long ago are kicking again. The dreams you buried are groaning for resurrection. And I am not stirring this without purpose. I am stirring because I have weighed the time, the season, the alignment. And now it is time to rise, not with noise, but with noticing, with focus, with clarity, with spiritual sobriety. You are standing at the intersection of divine release and holy responsibility. And I need your eyes wide open. So don't misread the pressure. Don't medicate it with distraction. Don't silence it with routine. This pressure is prophetic. It's my fingerprint pressing into your heart until it beats in sync with mine. You've been hearing me more than you realize. That subtle tension you can't explain. That's me calling. That sense of something's coming that keeps you awake. That's me preparing. Do not wait until crisis confirms my voice. Respond now while the instruction is still warm. I'm not stirring you for show. I'm stirring you for strategy. The next wave will be survived by emotion. It will require divine precision. And I'm handing it to you, right now, in this urgency. Don't delay. Let the pressure put you into position. Let it make you alert. Let it rewire your reactions. What you call pressure, I call preparation. And preparation is proof that promise is near. Ah, child, how many times have you assumed that silence meant absence? How many nights did you lay awake, stretching your ears toward the heavens, hoping for just one whisper, one word, one sign that I hadn't gone quiet? And yet the silence grew louder, and your heart whispered questions you were too afraid to voice aloud. But hear me now, and hear me with your spirit wide open. That silence was not empty. It was sacred. It was strategic. It was me, clearing the room of every counterfeit voice, removing every echo that tried to imitate me, stripping the atmosphere of clutter until only my breath could be heard. I do not compete for space. I do not shout over chaos. I wait, and I clear. And when the last idol falls, when the last distraction dies, when the last echo fades, then I speak. You called it a wilderness. I called it a sanctuary. You called it abandonment. I called it consecration. In the silence, I was not gone. I was drawing close in stealth. I walked beside you when your prayers returned with no reply. I listened as you offered me the raw, unedited pieces of your trust. You thought I was ignoring you, but I was preparing you. Because the next instruction I'm releasing could not survive the noise. It required stillness and demanded purity. It demanded a spirit strip of pride, control, and assumption. That is why I let the stage of your life grow quiet. I silenced what needed to be silenced, not to punish you, but to protect the integrity of what I was about to say. This next word is not decorative, it's directive. And had I spoken it too soon, it would have been lost in the crowd of other voices. But now, it can land like thunder and take root like seed. I have been waiting for you to be still long enough to distinguish my tone. My instruction is not generic. It is not vague. It is not poetic for poetry's sake. It is laced with blueprints, laced with timing, laced with answers you didn't even know how to articulate. You don't need more inspiration. You need revelation. You don't need more noise, you need navigation. And that is exactly what I'm giving you in the silence. I am training your ears to discern. I am teaching your spirit how to hear beyond what others call hearing. I'm not calling you to shallow faith. I'm calling you to prophetic awareness. This isn't emotional fluff. This is divine formation. And when you look back, you will bless the silence. You will see it was never empty. It was full of my hovering, full of my weaving, full of my breath as I rewrote scenes and realigned timing. So don't curse the quiet. Revere it. Don't rush out of it. Remain in it until it's finished speaking. There is a difference between human stillness and holy silence. One is absence. The other is arrangement. And what you experienced was arrangement of the highest order. I cleared the room so I could come close. I closed the mouths of others so your heart could finally learn the cadence of mine. You weren't being punished. You were being purified. And now, the instruction is ready. The stage is set. The scroll hath been unrolled. The silence has prepared the soil, and my word is coming like rain. My beloved, I have seen what you have not seen. I have walked the paths you've yet to take. I have listened behind the walls of conversations you were never invited to. And what I have seen has made me rise with holy fury. Not because I am surprised, but because I love you too deeply to let deception have its way. You've prayed for breakthrough, for elevation, for doors to open, and I've heard every word. But I am not just the God who opens doors. I am the God who guards destinies. And while you were focused on the prize, the enemy dressed a pit like a promotion. He disguised danger as destiny. He planted traps in gold wrapping. But I see through it all. I see the true motives beneath the compliments. I see the spiritual decay behind the dazzling lights. And child, I will not let you fall into a well while thinking it's a window. This is why things have felt confusing. Why options that looked so good began to feel strangely hollow. You started sensing the dissonance, the smile that didn't match the spirit, the yes that felt like a subtle no in your soul. That wasn't paranoia. That was my spirit sounding the alarm. You've been discerning without knowing why. You've been uneasy in places you once felt safe. That's not coincidence. That's protection. I've been whispering warnings. I've been rerouting your plans behind the scenes. Because, child, the enemy doesn't tempt you with something ugly. He packages counterfeits in charisma. He paints over compromise with a brush of opportunity. And I love you too much to let charm become your chains. I've been delaying things not to deny you, but to deliver you from dissection. The trap looked so right on the outside, but I saw the snare underneath, and so I stepped in. Now, I'm exposing it all. The conversations that happened behind your back, I've heard them. The agendas masked as friendship, I've seen through them. The connections sent to distract rather than develop, I'm severing them. Not because I want to isolate you, but because I'm insulating you. You've been asking me to bless you with next-level favor, but hear me. Next-level favor requires next-level filters. You can't step into divine appointment while entertaining demonic arrangements. You can't carry glory while clutching compromise. That's why I've been stripping. That's why I've been shaking. That's why what once looked like a blessing is now unraveling in front of you. Because I would rather you feel momentarily confused than eternally contaminated. I am not delaying your destiny. I'm defending it. So don't resist the redirection. Don't mourn the removal. I'm clearing what would have clouded your calling. I am exposing every lie, every trap, every scheme that was meant to look like love but carried poison beneath the surface. I am lighting up the unseen. I am lifting the veil. Because where I'm taking you requires clean vision, sharp discernment, and untangled loyalties. The warfare has increased, yes, but so has the watch of heaven. I've dispatched angels to cancel what was never supposed to touch you. You are covered, not confused. You are shielded, not shaken. And the exposure you're seeing is not disaster. It's divine evidence that I've heard your prayer for clarity. I am answering you now, not just with truth, but with timing. And I will not let one unclean thing attach itself to what I've made holy. You asked me, Lord, shield me from what I cannot see. You prayed, God, if something's not from you, close the door, even if I don't understand. And now I am answering that prayer, not with gentle symbols or poetic phrases, but with a word so clear, so sacred, so serious that you must not brush it off. This message is my protection. This is not poetic comfort. This is not sentimental encouragement. This is me, your father, your shepherd, your defender, shouting in the stillness before the wave breaks. I do not shout in chaos. I shout before the chaos so you don't have to drown in it. This is my voice cutting through the calm, declaring, turn. Listen. Buzz. Pay attention. I am warning you in mercy, not in judgment. I am positioning you in love, not in fear. My beloved, I've seen the ripple in the spirit before it's touched the natural. I've felt the tension mounting behind closed doors. You've been sensing it too, a strange urgency, an agitation in your soul, a heaviness that logic can't explain. That is me awakening your spiritual senses. It is me ringing the bell before the storm reaches the shore. I do not want you caught off guard. I do not want you sailing into waters without your armor on. You have asked me to shield you, and I am doing more than that. I'm equipping you. I'm not just protecting your peace, I'm preparing your posture. You've grown weary in the waiting, and you thought my silence meant I'd forgotten. But no, child. I was forming this message. I was shaping this warning. And now that you've slowed down enough to hear, I'm releasing it. There is a wave coming, not of destruction, but of decision. A test wrapped in timing. A situation that will look like a blessing but carry consequences if not discerned properly. And before it touches your life, I am raising this banner. I am releasing this word as your covering. Don't let the world's distractions deafen your ears to what I am whispering in mercy. I'm not giving you this insight to alarm you. I'm giving it to anchor you. You are not powerless in this moment. You are positioned. You are protected. But only if you respond. This message is your signal. Do not ignore it. Do not delay. Every second counts. What heaven is moving at this pace. So receive this as more than devotional. Let it be a divine defense. Let it be the echo of my heart colliding with yours. Not to stir fear, but to stir focus. I didn't send this message late. I sent it now, because you are right on the edge of something pivotal. The enemy knows it. Heaven knows it. And now, you know it. You are covered not just by prayers but by prophetic precision. What I speak to you today is not merely insight. It's intervention. My love has always protected, but now it proclaims, move with wisdom. Move with me. I've gone before you. Let this word be your warning and your weapon. The wave will not overwhelm you when my voice is your anchor. You stood at the edge of decision, whispering, Lord, just tell me what to do. Be clear, please. I don't want to miss you. And child, I heard every syllable, every trembling prayer, every tear-soaked whisper. And now, I am responding, not with the soft voice you expected, but with fire. Holy fire. Refining fire. A kind of fire that doesn't burn to destroy, but blazes to define. Do not dismiss this moment because it feels different. This is not me wrapped in gentle metaphors or sweet lullabies. This is me, roaring with precision, cloaked in divine confrontation, speaking with the intensity you begged for, because your future depends on it. The clarity you seek is not delayed. It's here. It's sharp. It's immediate. And yes, it may unsettle what you thought you wanted, but it will anchor what I know you need. The answers I give you will not always look like the blueprints you imagine. You've rehearsed resolutions. You've constructed outcomes in your mind. You said, if it's from you, Lord, it'll feel like peace. And I say to you now, peace is not always soft. Sometimes peace enters like a sword, cutting away what's been masking as comfort. Sometimes clarity comes not as a hug, but as a holy interruption. I'm not interested in confirming your assumptions. I'm committed to confronting your distractions. You asked for clarity, but I must tell you, true clarity doesn't cater to comfort. It reveals. It exposes. It cleanses. You wanted me to draw you a map, but instead, I'm handing you a mantle, a weight, a calling, and with it, I'm stripping away anything that could distort the next step. Because the truth is, what's ahead cannot be carried with yesterday's logic. This is why my answers arrive like lightning, blinding at first but brilliant once your eyes adjust. I am a God of answers, yes, but more than that, I am a God of alignment. I don't just want you to know the way, I want you to walk it with a right posture. So when my clarity comes with fire, it's because I'm not just illuminating the path. I'm burning away the illusions that kept you stuck. Do not retreat just because the tone has changed. This is not me growing distant. This is me drawing closer with urgency. There are moments when I speak in whispers, but then there are moments, this moment, when I must thunder. Because what I'm calling you into can't afford delay. And I will not let my child miss destiny because they clung too tightly to comfort. This fire is not here to scare you. It's here to scorch the veil that has blurred your vision long enough. To lean in, not away. I am answering not just your prayer, but your pattern. I'm addressing what you didn't even know was holding you back. That is why this answer doesn't sound like what you rehearsed. It's real. It's raw. It's righteous. This moment is sacred, child. Dismiss it, and you delay the unfolding. Embrace it, and you unlock the next level. I'm not speaking softly because I'm not dealing with shallow things. I'm addressing your future, your alignment, your authority. His fire is the sound of favor. The heat is holy, and the voice within the flame is mine. You asked for me. You got me. All of me. And now that you've heard me, everything changes. You've been tossed, haven't you? Pulled from one shore to the next by the waves of people's expectations. You've listened to their words, their insights, their predictions, their well-meaning advice, and somewhere in the middle of all those voices, you started losing your own. You began to question, to drift, to waver, not because you lacked faith, but because you were drowning in opinions. And now I say to you, enough. Enough of treading water in the sea of uncertainty. Enough of grabbing onto every floating piece of advice, hoping one of them is from me. I did not create you to stay suspended in indecision. I created you to stand. And I am calling you out of the swirl and into my stillness. Into the place where no wave of confusion can reach. Into the presence where every false echo dies in the face of my voice. You made room for too many other voices in chambers only meant for me. That's why the noise hath been so loud. That's why you feel pulled in too many directions. Your spirit is aching, not because you're broken, but because you've been trying to interpret my call through filters I never gave you. I love the people around you. I use many of them. But this moment, this next step, it's too holy to be handed off to consensus. I'm not looking for a group decision. I'm waiting for your obedience. And I know that's hard when the world shouts louder than your soul. But that's why I'm pulling you close, so close that the noise must fade, and only the pulse of my presence remains. I need you to hear me without distortion, to discern without distraction, to know that you don't need more opinions. You need my voice. I'm not asking you to disrespect others. I'm asking you to reset your priority of influence. I'm not angry with your listening, but I am jealous for your devotion. The next move is not about popularity, it's about precision. And you'll only find that in my presence. The sea of opinion is unstable and changes with every wind. But my presence is solid. It's a foundation. It's the place where confusion dies and confidence is reborn. You've been floating long enough. And now it's time to plant your feet. Right here. Right now. On the truth that never wavers. On the whisper that never deceives. On the word that never changes. Stand, child. Stand where the waters can't pull you. Stand where the noise is silenced by holiness. I'm not calling you to a performance. I'm calling you to peace. To the unshakable stillness that only my spirit can give. And once you stand here, truly here, you'll realize how much you've tolerated the turbulence of other voices. You'll feel the weight lift, the questions settle, the swirling stop. I am your anchor. I am your shore. I am the still place in the center of every storm. And I did not allow this sea to rage just to watch you drown. I allowed it so that when you stood, you would never again forget where your true footing is found. It's found in me. Only in me. Stand now, beloved. You're not in danger, you're in transition. And my presence is your ground. You've been walking heavy. I see it. Heaven feels it. Your steps may seem steady on the outside, but I, who search the depths of the heart, see the drag in your soul. Every morning you rise and dress your smile, but beneath it all is an ache that words haven't yet named. You have been carrying more than you were ever created to bear. You've taken responsibility for outcomes I never assigned. You've been silently holding the weight of family, future, finances, fears, and it's been quietly crushing the joy from your bones. But hear me now. You were never meant to hold all this. The weight you've been carrying isn't proof of strength. It's a sign of misplaced trust. And I do not say that with condemnation. I say it with compassion. I have watched you try to hold together what only I can sustain. And now, I am standing here, arms wide open, hands stretched toward your burden. Not to judge it, to lift it. Let me take it now, beloved. You've carried it far enough. I didn't form you to live in exhaustion. I didn't shape you for survival. I designed you for communion, for dependence, for surrender, for trust that trades burdens for breath. This weight, this invisible yoke, has been stealing your worship in slow, subtle ways. It's been distracting your hearing, dulling your discernment. You've mistaken your tiredness for lack of faith, but it's not faithlessness. It's fatigue. So deep fatigue. And I am not angry. I am moved. Because I never asked you to hold what's been hurting you. I never assigned you to carry what was meant to be cast. Cast your cares, not cradle them. Cast your fears, not analyze them. Cast your burdens, not decorate them with logic and pretend they belong to you. They don't. They belong to me. And I am not just able, I am willing. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more spiritual. Right now. I am not late. I am here. Fully here. Fiercely present. Unshakably near. My hands aren't empty. They are open. My heart isn't distant. It's drawn. I've watched you cry silent tears, holding up the world like it's your job to fix what only I can redeem. And I say again, let it go. Surrender doesn't mean failure. It means faith. When you lay this weight down, you are not giving up. You are giving into a strength that never runs dry. You are trading the constant anxiety of control for the unshakable peace of trust. I didn't create you to be your own provider. I didn't assign you to be your own protector. That's my job, and I'm good at it. When you try to do my job, you exhaust yourself. When you let me be God, you find rest again. So drop it. Drop it in my presence. Let the tears fall. Let the heaviness break. Let the weight roll off your shoulders and onto mine. You don't have to earn this moment. It's already been paid for. This is not about performance. It's about permission. Will you let me be God for you? Will you let me do what only I can do? Will you believe that I'm here, not as a distant observer, but as a divine burden bearer? I will not force your hand open, but if you stretch it out, I will fill it with peace. If you drop the weight, I will place in its place a lightness that no enemy can counterfeit. You've carried this long enough, child. You walked with this ache long enough. And now, I declare, let the lifting begin. The quickening in your chest, the sudden flutter of your heart, the restlessness in your thoughts, that is not panic. That is not instability. That is not emotional imbalance. That is me. Yes, beloved. It's me. My spirit stirring the waters of your spirit like an ancient well awakening to living water. You've been wondering if you're simply anxious, if maybe your nerves are misfiring, if stress has become your default. But I tell you now, no. This isn't fear. It's fire. This isn't chaos. It's calling. The urgency in your spirit is divine awareness taking root. It's your soul rising to attention because the King has entered the room with a word, with a warning, with a whisper that thunders in silence. You see, when I move in urgency, I do not always shout. Sometimes I send signals through stillness. Sometimes I awaken your spirit before your mind can make sense of it. This is that moment. You've been sensing a tightening in the atmosphere around you, like something is about to shift. That sensation isn't random. It's revelation wrapped in sensation. It's the supernatural brushing up against the natural. It's my spirit knocking on the doors of your discernment, asking to come in, to flood your awareness with heavenly insight before earthly events unfold. This urgency is me saying, pay attention. Will away. Prepare. Not because destruction is coming, but because direction is being released. You are standing at the intersection of instruction and ignition. I am placing fire in your bones, not to burn you out, but to burn away distraction. That fire you feel is not panic, it is prophetic positioning. I am calibrating your awareness. You cannot afford to sleepwalk through this moment. You cannot afford to numb out the divine signals with comfort, entertainment, or busyness. I am speaking, and I am speaking now. This urgency is not designed to scare you. It's designed to sober you, to awaken you from the lullaby of distraction, to draw you out of the crowd of opinions and into the clarity of my voice. I want you sensitive. I want you sharp. I want you sober, not somber, but sacredly alert. So don't resist this stirring. Let it move you. Let it roar out your rhythm. When your heart beats faster, pause. When your thoughts race without reason, step aside and ask, Lord, is this you? And I will respond, yes, I will confirm it's me. I'm waking up your discernment for this next wave. You don't need to fear the stirring. It's not here to unsettle you. It's here to settle you into my presence. That flutter is faith forming. The tightness is truth tightening its grip on your soul. And that ache you can't name, that's your spirit recognizing that the season is about to shift. I'm not just moving around you, I'm moving within you. So breathe, child. Breathe in this awareness. Let it lead you. Let it anchor you. The urgency is holy. The alert is divine. And my voice will meet you in the middle of it, every time. Child, listen. This is not a suggestion. I am not here offering optional wisdom for casual consideration. I am not presenting soft counsel for your convenience. I have come to summon you. And when I summon, heaven listens. When I summon, the atmosphere around you shifts. This is not inspiration. This is invitation into alignment. This is not an idea to ponder. This is a summons to posture yourself differently because where I'm leading you requires a different walk, a sharper hearing, a quicker obedience. I am not playing with your destiny. I am not tiptoeing around your calling. I am confronting everything in your life that still bends to fear, that still accommodates delay, that still tolerates indecision, and I am calling it to attention. When I summon, it's not for show, it's for shift. This word is not ornamental, it's governmental. It carries authority, and that authority demands response. You've walked long enough with one foot in purpose and the other in preservation. Long enough trying to maintain peace with people while forfeiting pace with me. long enough seeking agreement with the world before accepting assignment from heaven. But now, beloved, the time for suggestion has passed. I'm not here to consult. I'm here to commission. I'm reordering your heart, realigning your vision, and reawakening the fire in your bones that passivity tried to smother. This is the hour of obedience without hesitation. This is the hour where suggestions bow to summons. I don't need your opinion. I want your surrender. And when you surrender, not out of fear but out of reverence, you will feel everything shift. The haze will clear. The tug of war in your soul will cease. Because clarity doesn't come from collecting options. It comes from answering the voice. You've been waiting for confirmation when I've already spoken in command. That nudging in your chest. That wasn't your gut, it was my grip. That recurring thought you couldn't shake. That wasn't your imagination. It was me echoing through your awareness. And I speak again. This is not advice. This is alignment. I'm aligning your heart with heaven's calendar. I'm aligning your voice with prophetic timing. I'm aligning your footsteps with assignments that have been dormant for too long. And yes, it will cost you. Alignment always does. It will cost you approval, applause, and perhaps the comfort of certainty. But what you will gain will be immeasurable. Authority, clarity, flow, fire, and favor that cannot be fabricated. I will walk with you into this next space, but not if you hesitate at the doorway. You must move now. The summons has been issued. The table is set. Heaven is watching to see what you do next. Let me be clear. I do not issue casual invitations. When I summon, it is because something must be birthed, broken, or built. And I am not summoning you to observe. I am summoning you to engage. You were not created to stand at the edge of your calling with questions in your mouth and hesitation in your steps. You were designed to move when I speak, to burn with the fire I placed in you, to carry the weight of my word with holy confidence. So rise, not with self-reliance but with surrendered resolve. Lay down every excuse, every detour, every outdated lens that told you this was optional. It's not. This is heaven's moment colliding with your obedience. And the outcome won't be based on how well you calculated, but how completely you aligned. I'm not here to make suggestions. I'm here to make sons and daughters walk like the heirs they are. You feel the weight of what I just said. That's stirring in your spirit. That's not emotion. That's invitation. I've placed this urgency in you for a reason. Because this message, this moment, isn't just for you. It's a river meant to flow beyond your screen, to others whose hearts are dry, whose ears are aching to hear me say, I need to speak to you immediately. When you sow into this word, through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description, you become the messenger. You place oil in another's lamp. And I promise you, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25. Obey me now. Give, and let this fire reach the ones who need it next. Look closely, child. A door is forming. You can't see it yet in the natural, but your spirit feels it pressing against the edges of this very moment. You sense the shift in the atmosphere. You felt the strange blend of anticipation and resistance, of hunger and hesitation. That's not emotional turbulence. That's the weight of transition pressing into your timeline. A door is about to open, and it's not an ordinary door. It's not small. It's not shallow. It's sacred. And it's time-sensitive. This door carries with it divine acceleration, generational impact, and spiritual promotion. But the door does not open automatically. It responds to your yes. And not a half-hearted, hesitant, let me think about it kind of yes. I'm talking about a full-bodied, tear-soaked, faith-filled yes. A yes that reaches me before the door ever does. And child, I need that yes now. Tomorrow is too late. Not because I'm impatient, but because timing is sacred. You've been asking me for an open door, but you must understand, doors in the kingdom are not simply walked through. They're responded to in faith before they swing wide. I don't want your convenience. I want your commitment. Before the door swings, I want your yes. Before you see the full picture, I want your full surrender. And I'm not asking for blind faith. I'm asking for bold trust. You don't need to know every detail to obey. You don't need a roadmap to move forward. You need a yes. A holy yes. A trembling yes. A yes that echoes through every fear and still declares, I trust you more than I trust my understanding. Because that's what opens the door, not logic, not opportunity, not hustle. Obedience. Immediate, unshaken obedience. This is why the urgency has increased. Why delays now feel unbearable. Why settling feels like suffocation. It's not just change. It's a countdown. Heaven has already begun positioning people, rearranging resources, and aligning timelines in response to what I've placed in you. But that door, that specific door, waits your agreement. Your yes activates heaven's movement. I won't drag you through it. I won't force it open while your heart is still behind. I need you to catch up internally before I swing it externally. This is divine choreography. I've cued your entrance. But you must say yes before the curtain rises. This isn't about performance. It's about participation. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be present. Present with your heart. Present with your trust. Present with your surrender. You've waited long enough. Now it's the door that waits for you. And hear me, child. This door will not wait forever. That's not a threat. That's a truth. There is a window to this obedience, and the wind of my spirit is already beginning to blow. The longer you wait, the more costly the delay becomes, not because I withdraw love, but because momentum cannot be manipulated. I've timed this door with divine precision, and when it opens, it will bring more than you prayed for, but only if you're ready. So answer me now. Yes or no. Don't look around for consensus. Don't check the weather of people's opinions. This yes is between you and me. And I promise you, what's on the other side of this door will make your knees buckle and your spirit dance. But you must say it. Loud enough that heaven hears. Strong enough that fear trembles. Faith-filled enough that the door doesn't just open. It swings wide and stays open. Say yes. And say it now. My beloved child, listen to me. You said, I'm waiting on God. You've whispered in quiet moments, when will He move? When will the breakthrough come? When will I finally see what I've been believing for? And yet, I tell you now, with a weight of glory wrapped around every syllable, you are not waiting on me. I am waiting on you. Not in accusation, not in disappointment, but in holy anticipation. The atmosphere around you is already charged. The heavens are not still, they are leaning in. The angelic hosts are positioned. The oil is already warmed. The scroll has already been opened in the spirit. I am ready, child. I've been ready. But the motion I release in the heavens must correspond to the surrender you release on earth. I am not stuck. I am poised, waiting not for the perfect performance, but for the pure yes that tells me you are truly ready. There is a moment when faith shifts from theory to action, from pondering to proceeding. Glory to Him. And you are standing in that moment now. The ground beneath you is sacred, not because it feels different, but because it is pregnant with divine readiness. Do you feel the pull in your spirit? The ache that nothing else satisfies? The subtle but unrelenting sense that something is on the edge of release? That is not your imagination. That is the Spirit of the living God stirring the deep, stirring the dormant, stirring the doors that have been locked until your obedience turns the handle. I am not holding back because of punishment. I am holding position because of precision. And I won't send the wind until you lift the sail. I won't pour the rain until you dig the ditch. I won't release the instruction until you posture your heart to receive it without delay, without debate, without diluting it in fear. You keep asking for me to move. And I ask, will you move? Will you trust me without needing to know the entire plan? Will you stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start walking with the perfect shepherd? Your delay is not because you're disqualified. It's because your spirit has been hesitant to believe that I could truly move through you. But oh, child, I didn't choose you for your perfection. I chose you for your proximity. You've stayed close. You've remained faithful. You've whispered my name when it felt like no one else was listening. And now, the only thing left is your response. The heavens are leaning over the edge. The angels are holding their breath. And I, the one who formed you, who knows the count of your hairs and the weight of your tears, I am standing in this moment with arms extended, waiting, not for performance, for permission. Will you let me move through your yes? I am not absent. I am not delayed. I am not hesitant. I am ready. This is not a time for passivity. This is a time for participation. The miracles you seek are tied to movement, not mine, yours. My movement has never stopped. I've been weaving, ranging, positioning, preserving, even in the moments you mistook my silence for inactivity. But now, it is not about my emotion. It's about your momentum. What happens next in your life will not be the result of waiting, but of responding. The moment is now. Heaven is not neutral. The spirit is not dormant. The atmosphere is electric. And the response I'm calling for is not one of striving, but of surrender. Will you release what's in your hand so I can release what's in mine? Will you open the gate of obedience so I can flood you with fulfillment? You're not waiting on me anymore. I'm waiting on your response. And the moment is now. I do not want your fragments. I'm not here to meet with a version of you that shows up when it's convenient. I'm not just here for your morning prayers or your end-of-day sighs. I am not moved by routines that lack reverence. I am here, fully present, and I need your full attention. Not your distracted affection. Not your half-hearted glance. Not your occasional devotion wrapped in the language of routine religion. I'm not speaking to the surface of you, child. I'm going deeper, all the way down to the foundation, to the place where your real trust is buried, to the place where fear still whispers, to the place where disappointment has built quiet walls. That's where I'm aiming my voice. That's where I'm pouring my oil. I don't want your performance. I want your presence. Fully. Unapologetically. Undistracted. You've let the busyness of life steal too much attention. You've allowed urgency to override intimacy. Your heart is mine. Yes, but your focus has been divided. And when focus fractures, faith falters. Not because I left you, but because your hearing became cluttered. And I need you to hear me clearly right now. What I'm doing in you isn't cosmetic, it's foundational. I'm rebuilding the core of your identity. I'm shaking the scaffolding of survival you've built around your insecurities. I'm reaching down to the roots, not to destroy you but to deliver you. You've walked long enough with cracks in your foundation that you've learned to ignore. But I can't build what I want to build next on unstable ground. I need to go deep. Deeper than your image. Deeper than your spiritual habits. Deeper than your public strength. Into the parts of you that still flinch when I get too close. This is not about guilt. It's about growth. I am not condemning you for divided attention. I'm calling you to undivided surrender. Because I love you too much to leave you where you are. You were made for more than what you settled for. More than spiritually surviving on leftovers. More than grasping for me only when the storm hits. I want your focus because I want your fullness. When your attention is scattered, your authority is weakened. When your attention is whole, your anointing becomes sharp. That's why I'm calling you back, not just to pray more, but to see me again with undistracted eyes. To set your gaze like flint. To remove the noise. To shut the other doors. I'm jealous for your gaze, not to control you, but to call forth the version of you I created in secret, the one that's been buried beneath the chaos of life. So this is the moment of refocus, the moment of holy recalibration. I will speak again, but not to entertain your emotions. I'm speaking to establish your foundation. Let this be the hour where you choose me above every other voice. Let this be the hour where you put down the phone, shut the door, silence the distractions, and say, God, you have my full attention. Not for 5 minutes, not for a moment of inspiration, but as a lifestyle, a rhythm, a posture. Because when you give me all of you, I reveal all of me. And that exchange, child, that holy convergence of your focus and my fire, will rebuild what the enemy tried to shatter. I'm not speaking to the surface anymore. I'm building from the foundation. And once I finish, no storm will ever shake you again. Child, there is something we need to talk about, deep, honest, and without filters. You've been asking me for clarity again and again. God, just make it plain. Show me the path. Light the way. Reveal what I am supposed to do. And I have heard you. But here is the truth, saturated in my love and carved into my voice. I will not give clarity where there is unwillingness to shift. I will not speak for the sake of your curiosity. I speak for the sake of your movement. I do not pour my wisdom into hardened hearts. I pour it into hearts that are postured to obey, even when the instruction feels costly. Clarity is not a convenience, it's a consequence of surrender. And until your heart bows in full alignment, my voice will remain still, not as punishment, but as protection. Because revelation without obedience turns to ruin. I will only confirm what you're willing to follow. I need to be direct with you, because the time for gentle delay has passed. You want to know if it's me? Then show me that you're willing to act on what I reveal. I'm not interested in giving you information to be analyzed. I'm releasing instruction to be acted upon. But many ask me to speak, while their feet remain glued to comfort. You've said, I just need a sign. And I say to you, your next step is not waiting on more signs, it's waiting on your surrender. I don't speak to spectators. I lead the yielded. You don't need a prophetic word when you haven't yet responded to the last one I gave. Don't you see? I'm not holding back from you. I'm waiting for your posture to match the magnitude of what I'm about to release. If I open the door without your heart aligned, it would break you. So instead, I hold the door until you bend in trust. This is not about punishment. This is about protection and precision. When you shift your posture, when you yield your preferences, your timelines, your right to understand, then clarity will flow like a river. Then direction will descend like rain. But until then, I may remain silent. Not because I'm cruel, but because I love you too much to let you mistake more knowledge for maturity. You don't need more detail. You need more devotion. You don't need more evidence. You need more surrender. And once I see that, even a whisper will be enough to guide you. I don't hide clarity from you. I hide it for you, until your heart is prepared to carry the weight of what comes next. Because what I am about to unveil will change everything, but only if you're ready to walk in it with clean hands and swift obedience. So now I ask you, are you willing to shift? Will you release the plan you've clung to in exchange for the path I've already prepared? Will you stop asking me to reveal things you have no intention of responding to? Because I will not be your echo chamber. I will be your king. And I speak with authority, not suggestion. I speak from eternity, not emotion. You wanted clarity? Then bring your yes, not just in words but in willingness. When I see your readiness, you'll see my revelation. And when I see you move, I will meet you in motion with miracles. Don't let this moment pass you by waiting for comfort. Step into clarity by stepping into trust. This is the hour to shift. And once you do, clarity will come suddenly, and it will come to stay. Listen to me carefully, child. Not everything you've prayed for that hasn't happened is being withheld out of denial. No, some delays are mercy in disguise. Some unanswered prayers are shieldings, not rejections. There are desires you've held close, dreams you've wept over, doors you've knocked on again and again. And in your heart, you began to wonder, did I miss it? Did I disqualify myself? Did God change his mind? But I tell you now, with thunder in my love and clarity in my tone, I didn't deny you. I delayed you to develop you. Because what you're asking for is heavier than you realize. And if I gave it to you in this current version of you, it would crush rather than crown you. You mistaken delay for distance. But I've been closer in the delay than you ever imagined. I've been standing guard over your process. The truth is, I've already said yes to some of your requests in the realm of heaven. The scroll is marked. The promise is sealed. But in my wisdom, I have hidden the release behind a veil of preparation. You see, the version of you standing in front of me now is not the version who will steward that promise. You've grown. Yes. You've matured. Absolutely. But there are still parts of your soul that would misinterpret the blessing as identity. Still places in your heart that would wrap their worth around outcomes instead of intimacy. And so I wait. Not because I'm cruel, but because I'm crafting capacity in you that can carry the weight of what's coming. You don't just need the promise. You need the strength to steward it without it owing you. And that kind of strength is not microwaved in haste. It's forged in the slow fire of surrender. Even now, I'm refining your vision, shaping your discernment, learning patterns that used to feel safe but would sabotage your next. I'm letting the waiting stretch you so that when I say go, you don't just walk into the room. I send you as a weapon in my hand. So don't resent the delay. Respect it. Let it train your attention. Let it deepen your roots. Let it anchor your heart in me, not in outcomes but in obedience. What I have for you is so precise, so intricately timed, that if I released it outside of my design, it would arrive as pressure, not promise. So trust the delay, child. It's not working against you. It's working for you. And the day it breaks open, you'll see that I never said no. I just said, not like this. Not yet. Let this word settle deeply. I delay to protect. I delay to prepare. I delay to preserve the purity of the promise. If you could see the fullness of what I'm preparing, you would weep not in frustration, but in awe. I haven't forgotten your prayers. I haven't overlooked your tears. I've counted every one and folded them into the timeline of heaven. What I'm bringing into your life requires more than readiness. It requires refinement. And that is what I'm doing in you even now. Don't curse the delay. Consecrate it. Don't fight it. Flow with it. And soon, very soon, the doors you've dreamed of will open, not just to bless you, but to prove to the world that I was never denying you. I was protecting my promise in you until it was strong enough to become legacy. Beloved, this shift you are sensing, it's not subtle, it's not seasonal, and it's not temporary. It's a divine relocation. I am not just changing the scenery of your life. I am changing the strategy of your soul. This is not a detour. It's a divine deployment. I'm not moving you for novelty. I'm moving you for authority. You've been in survival mode for too long, holding your breath, treading water, bracing for the next battle. You've learned to live in constant defense, always preparing for what might go wrong. And yes, I protected you there. I trained you in the wilderness. I was with you in every hidden place. But now, hear me, child, that year is over. The days of merely surviving are ending. I am relocating you spiritually into dominion. You are stepping out of the shadows of defense into the spotlight of divine strategy. Not because you've earned it, but because you've endured long enough. You are ready now. This transition will not look like a typical promotion. It will not be defined by applause or titles. It will be marked by clarity and authority. The fog that's hovered over your discernment is lifting. The confusion that clouded your next steps is dissolving. I'm bringing you into a realm where you no longer ask permission to exist. You command with purpose. And no, this doesn't mean arrogance. It means alignment. I'm aligning you with my strategies, my wisdom, my pace. You will no longer react to attacks. You will initiate moves. You will no longer wait for favor, you will walk in it. Because this relocation is not just geographical or financial or relational. It's positional. I am positioning you in the spirit where every move you make shakes darkness and releases heaven. You will speak, and cycles will break. You will show up, and rooms will shift. Because I'm not just moving you forward. I'm planting you in dominion. But hear this, and hear it with reverence. With this relocation comes responsibility. You cannot carry old mindsets into new mantles. You cannot bring survival habits into strategy assignments. You must let go of the identity that was shaped in the fire of fear. You must release the reflex to shrink, to second guess, to assume resistance means retreat. It doesn't. Resistance means you've entered territory that matters. So I will train you, moment by moment, to discern when to stand, when to speak, and when to silence the enemy with stillness. You will not operate like you did before. You will no longer make decisions based on exhaustion. You will move from revelation. I'm restoring your mental space, recalibrating your energy, reintroducing you to yourself, the version of you that was always meant to rule from rest, not reaction. So, receive this relocation with sobriety and joy. It's not a suggestion. It's a summons. I am relocating you not just because of where you've been, but because of where I'm taking you. From defense to dominion. From barely making it to commanding territory. You won't just endure anymore. You'll establish. You won't just recover. You'll reign. And it begins now, not with noise, but with a nod from heaven that says, it's time. So walk with me differently. Listen with sharper ears. Speak with cleaner power. This isn't a minor move, it's a holy migration. And as you step forward, hell will notice. But more importantly, heaven will respond. Because the ones who move in dominion are the ones who first submitted in stillness. And you, my child, are being moved into my movement. Let's talk about those unanswered prayers, those lingering detours, those moments that made you wonder if I even heard you. Because I did. I heard every cry, every petition, every whispered request in the dark when your voice trembled with hope. And I have not ignored you. I never once turned away from the sound of your faith. But what you must see now with heaven's eyes is this. What you called delay, I called redirection. What felt like detour was, in fact, a divine route toward a greater fulfillment than you had the capacity to imagine. Child, I am not in the business of teasing you with almosts and maybes. I don't dangle dreams in front of you like bait. I am a father, a builder, a strategist, and what I construct takes time, alignment, and vision, not just yours, but mine. Some of what you asked me for, I love that you trusted me with it. What I knew what you didn't. I saw 5 steps down the road where that yes would have led to entanglement, burnout, or counterfeit satisfaction. You prayed with a sincere heart, but your sight was still developing. So I allowed the delay, not to discourage you, but to deepen you. I let you sit in what felt like stillness so your roots could grow thick and unshakable. I let you wrestle with what seemed like no, so that when the true yes came, you'd recognize its weight. Because the fulfillment I'm leading you into isn't partial. It's complete. It's not temporary relief. It's generational alignment. I'm not just answering your request. I'm rebuilding the framework of your life to sustain what I'm about to release. You've been interpreting the timeline by earthly logic, but I operate in eternal patterns. I wasn't delaying you. I was designing around you, ranging divine intersections, shielding you from unseen sabotage, protecting relationships, holding opportunities until the moment wouldn't just bless you, it would build through you. This is why some doors closed with no explanation, why some relationships ended abruptly, why some seasons stretched far beyond what felt fair. Because I knew what was ahead. And I'm not interested in giving you a blessing that breaks you. I'm only interested in fulfillment that fortifies you. You don't need another shallow miracle. You need a rooted manifestation. And child, I am the God who finishes what I start. So hear me now, you have not been forgotten. You are not behind. You are right on schedule with a heaven-timed plan that's been unfolding beneath your feet, even while you slept. And what I am bringing you into will make every unanswered prayer suddenly make sense. The disappointment will dissolve into awe. The detours will transform into testimonies. The waiting will be reframed as wisdom. Because I am not a God of delays. I am the God of divine fulfillment. And you are about to see why I said no. Why I said not yet. Why I closed that door. It was never to reject you. It was to redirect you towards something so precise, so rich, so perfectly timed, that when it arrives, you won't feel like you're catching up. You'll feel like you've been prepared all along. Listen closely, my child, because this word is going to shift the lens through which you've been seeing everything. You have been interpreting recent events, recent disappointments, recent closed doors, through the lens of punishment. You've asked yourself, did I do something wrong? Did I miss it? Is this consequence? But I say to you with tenderness and truth, no, you are not being punished. You are being positioned. What feels like things falling apart is not judgment. It is realignment. I have not come to harm you, but to place you in the exact posture, position, and proximity required for what is coming next. You cannot carry divine purpose while standing in misaligned places. So yes, it may feel like loss. Yes, it may feel like people leaving, opportunities disappearing, relationships shifting. But what you're experiencing is not abandonment. It's divine architecture. I'm clearing the space for what fits the next level. The loss you're grieving is not empty, it is sacred. You have mistaken my hand for harshness when in fact, it is healing. The breaking you feel, it's not destruction, it's birthing. I am breaking the shell around the next version of you. The one that walks in full boldness. The one that doesn't hesitate to obey. The one that doesn't second guess their worth. The one that steps into rooms not wondering if they belong, but knowing they were sent. And birthing is never quiet. It's messy. It's stretching. It's unfamiliar. But it is life. You are not dying in this moment. You are emerging. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels like everything stable is shifting. But that's not instability. That's transition. And I'm in it. I'm in the shaking. I'm in the removing. I'm in the silence that follows the letting go. Because the position I'm moving you into can't be inherited with old weight still attached. You keep asking me for restoration, and I am answering. But my restoration begins with removal. I remove what can't carry the oil. I remove what was seasonal but has stayed too long. I remove what you've clung to, not because it was evil, but because it was exhausted. The place you are in now is sacred because it is stripped. There is clarity in the clearing. There is holiness in the halt. And while the world may see it as loss, heaven sees it as alignment. I am aligning you with your next season. Not just for a breakthrough, but for birthing something that has eternal consequence. You may feel alone, but I am in the room. You may feel vulnerable, but I am the covering. And soon, what looks like breaking will bloom. It will become the platform where your next authority is birthed, not in noise, but in knowing. So stop grieving what I removed as though it had the power to hold you back. Stop interpreting divine shifts as personal failures. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are becoming. Becoming what you prayed for. Becoming what I designed in secret. Becoming the carrier of what can't be fabricated, only forged. This is not punishment. It is positioning. This is not failure. It is fulfillment forming in silence. You are on holy ground not because it sees you, but because it's exact. And soon, you'll look back and understand why I moved the way I did. You'll see it not as the end of something, but the birth of everything. Child, hear me with the full weight of heaven's tenderness. You are not broken. You are transforming. But transformation always comes with grief. And the grief you've been feeling lately, that heavy ache in your soul that has no clear source, it's not about people or circumstances. It's about identity. You are grieving a layer of yourself that I have already removed. A version of you that was necessary for a season, but no longer fits the weight of your calling. And I need you to stop trying to go back to who you were. That version of you, the one who played small, the one who apologized for their voice, the one who second-guessed their every move. I've outgrown that person inside of you. Not in rejection, in redemption. That layer had to fall off, because what I'm calling you into requires your full stature. You can't carry old skin into a new season. What you are feeling is the shedding. And yes, it feels like loss. Yes, it feels disorienting. But this is not regression. It's resurrection. You're not going backward. You're breaking forward. And it's confusing because the identity you've wrapped around yourself no longer responds to you. The roles you've mastered no longer satisfy. The rooms you once fitted now feel foreign. It's not because you're failing. It's because you're evolving. And I'm leading the evolution. I'm not asking you to perform for the new season. I'm asking you to receive your new self. The version of you that walks in bold peace. The version of you that doesn't flinch when they're misunderstood. The version of you that doesn't shrink for the sake of keeping others comfortable. That version is not on the way. It's already here. You just need to meet her. You just need to greet him. Because I've already introduced you in the spirit. Now I'm waiting for your soul to catch up. Let me speak plainly. I will not let you wear what I've stripped. I will not let you function in roles I've retired. I will not bless performances that were never meant to become your personality. This is your permission slip to let go of the past version of yourself without shame. You do not have to mourn who you were. That version was not a mistake. It was a stepping stone. But now, the cocoon has broken. And yes, the wings feel unfamiliar, but they are yours. Don't look back at the earth when I'm teaching you to fly. Don't rehearse the identity of comfort when I'm calling you into consequence. You're not just a better version of the old you. You are a reborn expression of my glory, and that means you must honor the divine distance between who you were and who you now are. So don't resist this version. Embrace her. Speak over him. Look in the mirror and stop trying to summon the past. I'm doing a new thing. Not a revised thing. A new thing. And it's glorious. And it's weighty. And yes, it may cost you familiarity, but it will reward you with fire. Let this be the hour you bless the past for what it taught you, but walk away without guilt. I am calling you forward, and I am not interested in rehearsing who you were. I am fully invested in revealing who you truly are. Let the layer go, beloved. You are not lost. You are becoming light. My beloved, hear me beyond the rustle of distractions, more than the echo of urgencies that clamor for your attention. You, or perhaps I, have asked for clarity. Lord, speak to me precisely, unmistakably. And now I do. Lean in. The moment has ripened, and your soul is the soil. I'm not offering soft suggestions or casual encouragement. I'm delivering a declaration. So pull away, not just briefly, but deeply. Remove yourself from the demands, from the screen, from the predictable rhythms that dull your spirit. Shut the door, not on my voice, but on every static that has attempted to surface between us. Lean in, lean back, kneel, breathe, and receive what I'm about to say. Because what I'm about to say will change everything. In the stillness that follows every shake-up, the foundation of destiny is laid. And in the pause of asking, I have been writing your answer in heaven's secret scroll. But heaven's ink doesn't imprint until there is space to receive it. You've been walking in tension, under cluttered layers of expectation, carrying the opinions of the crowd as if they were small gods. Now is the time to silence them. Draw the curtain of your heart over that which competes with me. The clarity you crave is not in greater light, but in greater focus. And that focus is born in separation, from distraction, from comfort, from the urgency of everyone's voice except mine. Understand this. Clarity does not come from accumulation of information. It comes from extraction, pulling away from what distorts, distracts, and deceives. You've asked me to speak unmistakably. I will, but only in the context of your surrender. Surrender of noise. Surrender of performance. Surrender of the need to make sense of it all. When you stand in that still space, there I will speak in thunder. Not to intimidate you, but to inoculate you. Not to scare you, but to ignite you. What I say next cannot be understood with logic plugged into busyness. It must be received by a spirit made simple and still. Shut down the distractions. Stop letting culture interpret me for you. This is word of my presence, word of your purpose, word of your placement. And it lands only when you turn inward. So pause the scroll, exit the feed, silence the noise. Come apart for a moment that's not about escape, but about entering my presence. I'm speaking a word that shifts timelines. But even holy words land as weather if you're not sheltered in the secret place of undivided attention. Are you still? Are you quiet? Are you breathing with expectancy? Then here it is. You're not who you used to be. You're not stuck in the delay. You're not behind. You've been walking with me in ways you didn't recognize. And what's ahead will require more of that awareness. So again, I say, lean in, beloved. Because what I'm about to say will change everything. You heard me. You felt my urgency in your chest like thunder disguised as peace. Now listen, this moment is sacred. Don't let it end here. What I poured into you is meant to pour through you. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or that link below, you become a sower of sacred seed. You help me speak to someone who's on the edge, someone who's about to give up unless they hear my voice now. And child, I will honor your giving. Give, and it shall be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over Luke 6:38. Act now. Click, so, and let this word echo into eternity. Child, do not misinterpret the quiet as desertion. It was not my absence. It was sacred preparation. Every moment that felt empty, every still night that seemed void, I was not distant. I was delivering. You believed I had slipped away. But no, I was weaving your breakthrough in silence. I was constructing divine corridors in your heart where fear had paved halls. I was purifying your posture, calibrating your spirit, aligning your readiness to carry more than you've ever carried before. That quiet was not vacancy, it was vista. It was space made holy, ready to receive revelation that could not land amid the noise. And now, beloved, revelation is rising. You've wondered if I cared when my voice seemed still. You mistook my quiet for indifference. But the truth is, I was kneeling closer, creating sacred ground beneath your feet, pruning your timeline, tilting your heart toward my voice. And every sigh you had in that silence was a prayer I already answered. But in the economy of heaven, answered prayers aren't always delivered immediately. Sometimes they are downloaded slowly through preparation. Your clarity today is the result of that subterranean work. So do not despise it. Do not doubt it. The reason the revelation you feel rising is so powerful, that's because it was prepared in the dark, seeped in my presence, seasoned in my strategy. Now, in this hour, you're waking up, awakening to what was always true but couldn't be seen, awakening to my voice as your foundation, no longer falling for the echoes of what others say. Revelation is not just knowledge, it's knowing me. And that knowing will reconfigure everything, your decisions, your destiny, your devotion. This is not just light, it's this season's beginning. Do not step back in fear. Step forward in faith. Revelation coming in silence is not an alert, it's a launch. So stand bold. Move with trust. Speak with clarity. You are not at the end of waiting, you are at the start of warfare. For breakthrough is on its way. And what you hold now is not just a word, it is a weapon. Let it rise. Child of my heart, pause and hear this word deeply. You believe in my silence, but that stillness was never emptiness. I was not missing. I was maneuvering. I was not absent. I was arranging. Everything around you might have looked still, unchanged, but I was shifting seasons, adjusting alignments, resetting cycles. I have been working behind the scenes, moving pieces you could not see, preparing the ground beneath your feet. And only now, when the final piece has been perfectly seated, are you beginning to discern the design. This is your moment of revelation, the blueprint of my heart revealed, not in fragments but in wholeness. And it's time you see not just what I'm doing, but how I always intended it. Your impatience felt loud, but in heaven's economy, my timing felt precise. I've been building quietly, like a divine architect perfecting the smallest details so when the structure stands revealed, it doesn't collapse on disturbance. Many things you watched fade felt like loss, but they were necessary omissions, deletes from my divine draft so that the final design would stand pristine. I erased distractions, cut away confusion, removed the pieces that would not fit my deeper vision for you. And if you miss my whisper in the wait, don't condemn yourself. You were maturing while you were quiet. You were becoming steady when storms came. But now, beloved, the scaffolding has fallen away and I'm unveiling the blueprint, my plan for your life, your calling, your destiny. This revelation isn't just inspiration, it's instruction. It's not decorative, it's directional. The doors you've pressed against, the valleys you've trudged, the nights you've wondered where I was, all converge now into one central unveiling. And the revelation sweeping your spirit now is the seed of your next move. You're standing at the threshold of clarity. You won't just see it, you will step into it. But recognize that this blueprint isn't meant to be admired from distance. It's meant to be built, to live, to speak, to carry authority. That is why your heart feels weighty now, and your eyes sharper. You've been being prepared to lead, not just to follow, to manifest, not just to marvel. So take that breath and stand firm. The blueprint is yours. The floor plan hath been handed down. Now walk it out in obedience. Speak it into the walls around you. Build with your faith. Lay your hands on the vision and begin to move in purpose. You don't have to move mountains, just move in the direction I've made clear. And as you align step by step, the blueprint will become legacy. The sketch I've revealed in the silence will become your testimony in the sunlight. You thought I was quiet, but in heartbeats invisible, I crafted your masterpiece. Now, step into it. Beloved child, listen, your future is not shaped by passerby opinions. It's not designed by cultural trends or by the anxious words of hearts that do not hold my vision. You've carried extra voices with you, old hurts that whispered you weren't enough, expectations that told you who you should be, fears that tried to rewrite your calling. But hear me now, those voices have no authority over your destiny. They are shadows compared to the authority of my word. From this day, I call you to silence them. Stop letting the naysayers, the critics, the well-intentioned but misguided, the anxious whispers of the past, speak over your future. Now, it's my voice alone that holds the blueprint, the compass, the promise. I am the author, the finisher, the king. Only my voice speaks life. Only my word forms paths that endure. And I am shaping what happens next, regardless of who argued otherwise. All along, I've been calling you through whispers beneath the clamor. But now, the atmosphere is shifting. My voice, the tone of my heart for you, is becoming undimmed, unmoved by fear, unwavering in clarity. What you thought was secure familiar, safe, noble. It pales in comparison to the horizon that my voice reveals. That's why I am calling you to stop tuning to the static around you. Align your frequency into my frequency. Align your hearing with my heart. I want you to respond to my nudges, not react to the noise. To carry my clarity, not the crowd's confusion. When you allow others to define your path, you step into their limited maps, compromised roads, detours made of opinion. But when my voice maps your steps, you walk with divine permission, precision, and power. And yes, I know how stepping into that clarity can feel isolating. The voices wanting to see you safe, still, predictable. They want to keep you small. But that is not your assignment. You are not here for approval, you are here for authority. You were created to advance my will, not to drift in human assurance. And so this is your invitation to shut the other voices down, not in hate, but in holy confidence. Let your yes resonate not with them, but with me. Speak the words I've breathed into your spirit. This is my path, my story, my calling. And watch as heaven answers that position through doors that don't exist yet. Because when I speak and you walk, mountains bow, strongholds crumble, chains break, and your future, your true future, comes alive. Beloved, pause here. The delays you've misinterpreted as dead ends, they were not. They were divine choreography. The staging of silence, the hush of waiting, these were not failures or errors in timing. They were purposeful movements of me, orchestrated with precision, beautiful in the way a dancer's steps align with music you cannot yet hear. What felt like stillness was never absence. It was sacred set up. Scenery was shifting beneath your feet. Foundations were being reinforced beneath the weight of your faith. Shifts were being arranged behind the veil. And now, if you perceive the stirring, and perhaps even a tremor in your spirit, it's because the stage is set. Heaven's choreography is ready to release motion. Your seasons have not stalled, they have ripened. Your patience has not been wasted, it has been worked on. You've waited in the interim, perhaps in confusion, perhaps in frustration, wondering if the night would give way. But now, the dawn is breaking, and the delay you hated is becoming the dance you step into. Doors are not just cracking, they are swinging, with the rhythm of my timing, not the world's. You wondered whether you misheard me. This is my resounding response. Stillness was not denial, it was preparation for movement. Closed doors were not rejection, they were rehearsals for greater entrance. And the faith you fostered in the quiet, it's about to become the power you carry in the light. So straighten your posture, align your feet, take your place in the choreography of heaven. Do not rush the release, nor fear it. Come with expectant reverence, not hesitant impulse. There is a dance of destiny about to unfold, and you are the instrument God will play. And when the music finally drops, it will be not as a surprise, but as heaven's articulation through your obedience. So wait no longer for signs. Feel the shift. Feel the rise. And with every breath, say, I am ready to move. Beloved, hear my heart when I warn you, not in alarm but in love, that is mercy, not malice. I am not a fearful God. I will not frighten you with threats I don't intend to hold back. But I will whisper the truth when the enemy lines up distractions that would derail your destiny. These warnings are not words of disaster. They are tokens of trust, signs that I intend to move through you yet again, and I refuse to let the enemy clog the clarity of that assignment with confusion, compromise, or compromise dressed as comfort. You felt the pull of fear rising, the attack of doubt creeping across your mind, especially at dawn or dusk. or in the whisper of loneliness, and you took it as defeat. No, that's me placing a warning post in your spirit. Walk this way, I'm saying. Do not let that detour distract you. You're not hearing that because you've done something wrong. I am telling you that I have work to do through you. You are not abandoned to conflict. You are appointed to conquest. And that is why I speak in the stillness, why I warn you in the hush, why I disturb your sleep with trembling conviction, because what I'm about to do with you is worthy of war, and I want your blessing on the battlefield. Do not mistake this for resistance. Receive it as reinforcements. The warning is your assignment's buffer, your destiny's safety net. The enemy throws distractions, temptations, doubts. I throw clarity. Because your purpose is not a bystander's role, it's a fire starter's place. And I refuse to let anything re-script your calling. So stay alert. Lean into my voice. Let my warning sharpen your steps, not steal your peace. Every alert I send is my way of keeping the road clear ahead. And that's not alarm. That's covenant. Beloved, receive this in the intimacy of your spirit. What I'm entrusting to you now is not ordinary guidance. It is sacred intelligence delivered before the storm, insight poured into your soul before you step into responsibility. I'm not offering the usual. I'm delivering uncommon revelation. While most wait for life to unfold before acting, you are being prepared to act because revelation has unfolded in you first. What you hold isn't common instruction. It is a consecrated dispatch, a directive coded in clarity, steeped in sovereignty. It is not something to file away or theorize over. It is something to live by, for your future doesn't need your mind. It needs your heart fully aligned with my mind. What I've given you is insight before impact. I've brought clarity before the crisis so you don't just survive turbulence. You navigate with authority. Responsibility isn't supposed to blind you. Revelation should enlighten you. That's why this word bypasses common logic and moves straight to kingdom intelligence. This isn't a suggestion, it's a charge. And it won't benefit you to ponder it timidly. It needs to be launched from your spirit. Speak it. Step with it. Let it steer your decisions, not just align your emotions. I'm not giving you just next steps. I'm giving you next strategy. And it's vital you distinguish this moment, not as an invitation to plan, but as a commission to possess what I'm releasing. In this sacred moment, lean in again. Let every weary thought fall silent. I am not delivering opinions. I am delivering orders that carry authority. This is your word for now. Not theoretical, but tactical. Not for discussion, but obedience. And if you yield to it, you won't just walk into favor. You'll walk into kingdom-designated authority. The insight I'm giving you isn't just for understanding, it's for dominion. So rise up, not with confusion, but with clarity. The insight has landed. Now walk in its impact. My dear one, let me whisper this deeply into your spirit. The shift I am unveiling through your surrender doesn't need clarification. It will be self-authoring. You will not need to defend it, announce it, or explain it. The fruit will testify. The shift will be undeniable. Doors will open in such a way that observers will innately recognize this isn't human rising. This is my move. This is heaven's fingerprint through your obedience. So stand still in confident anticipation, because the evidence of my touch does not require your explanation. It carries its own weight, its own clarity, its own credibility. What I am doing through your life will ring like a signal from eternity, not a statement penned by petty reasoning. There are times when what I do in you looks so sudden, so seamless, so inexplicably powerful that the world, seeing only the visible, knows without invitation, it was God. And that is my glory. The glory where you don't need to justify your journey, where your testimony is too potent to be dismissed, where the impact becomes your unmistakable witness. Let that liberate you from self-promotion and drive you toward holy expectancy. Because when heaven molds your narrative, you don't need to write it. It writes itself in the shifting atmosphere around you. Let your life become the banner of my visitation, not by your voice, but by my fruit. So stop rehearsing words. Stop preparing explanations. Let your posture be one of worshipful watchfulness. Deliverance doesn't beg for headlines. It arrives. Awakening doesn't earn applause. It awakens. The shift will be seen. The doors will open. And they'll know, like breath knows warmth, that it was me. Beloved, breathe this in as though it were life itself, for it is. This isn't another casual nudge or comforting thought sent your way. It is rare. It is sacred intelligence, descending before the storm arrives. While most wait for impact to know how to respond, I have trained my ear in your spirit, before the responsibility lands, to release revelation that equips you spiritually before crisis can define you. This is not common instruction. It's divine foresight. What I'm giving you now is not for your record. It's for your rise. You were not designed to scramble amid chaos. Not today. Today, heaven pours strategy into your soul, the kind that turns stumbling into poise, confusion into clarity, reaction into authority. This is insight before impact. That means your next move is not built from gathered intel, but receiving revelation. You are no longer being formed by events. You are being formed for events. While others endure, you will act. While others seek answers, you will carry them. For I have whispered into the hidden, illuminated the unknown, planned beyond your processing, and now I'm handing those keys to you. But understand, my child, such revelation isn't to be hoarded, it's to be released. For revelation, that is locked in a vault of your fear, is not my intent for it. What I am trusting you with is kingdom intelligence, a far cry from the noise of human counsel. This prophetic downloading bypasses label and theory. It invites you into obedience. It will ask you to move before you feel ready, to speak before you see the result, to live what you've heard. That's why it's sacred, and why its potency isn't in your ability to process it, but in my power to position you through it. So receive it now, and stand. Let the unrehearsed weight of my wisdom settle in your bones. Let it steer your steps, inform your choices, ignite your courage. You're no longer scrambling. You are calibrated. Insight before impact. Revelation before responsibility. Make your move. Beloved, let this promise sink deep. What I am crafting through you does not require your sermon. It doesn't ask you to explain or defend. The fruit will testify on your behalf. The shift will be unmistakable. Doors will swing open so wide that those standing outside will draw a breath and realize, this is not human momentum. This is my move. Already, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Soon, everything you step into will bear the weight of my presence, not your persuasion. When I move, I mark your path with unmistakable signs. The less you seek to convince, the more you trust the fruit to align. Seasons will shift without your announcement. The world will watch the change without asking for your explanation. Because when my power flows, your testimony becomes visible, not verbal. Let that free you from performing. Let that release your fear of misunderstanding. Let that embolden you in obedience, knowing heaven will validate the moment through movement. You were never commanded to live as legend. You were called to carry light. The less you present, the more I will display. The more you release, the more I will reveal. So let your life, not your lip, become the proclamation of my presence. When I move, let your faith rise quieter than your actions speak. Let the fruit of this hour testify. Doors opening, burdens breaking, miracles unfolding, and the watching world whispering, with no voice louder than the shift. It was him. Beloved, you not see this as the conclusion of a message. See it as the activation of a mandate. You've lingered in the secret place, heart pressed against my whisper, and now comes the shift, from receiving to releasing. You didn't just gather these words to feel better. You gathered them to become better. And now, with heaven's full authority, I say, you are anointed to move. Not in hesitation, not in half measures, not in delay, but in full stride, with bold breath and sacred fire. This word, this final pouring, is not a sign-off. It's an ignition, a divine spark being lit in your belly, one that will not be extinguished by doubt or dismissed by delay. The fire I lit through every message point is now fanned into movement. Movement that breaks chains. Movement that redefines regions. Movement that bears the fragrance of my presence carried by your obedience. You've wrestled with the weight of these revelations, but what you thought was pressure was actually power being forged. You weren't being crushed. You were being compressed for clarity. And now, like oil pressed from the olive, what drips from your life will no longer be fear, nor hesitation, but unction. You will move with a confidence that no longer needs external confirmation. Because now, you know my tone. You've heard my pace. You've held my breath in yours. And that intimacy is your compass. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what has already been shown. And even if the path isn't laid in bricks, it is laced in prophecy. This is the moment where the veil lifts, not from my face, but from your own. You see yourself now, don't you? Not as broken, but as sent. So don't wait for permission from voices I've silenced. Don't hesitate for applause I never required. Move. With tears if you must. With trembling hands if you need. But move. And as you do, the wind of my spirit will meet you. Not behind you, but within you. I will amplify your step. I will echo your obedience. I will illuminate the very next move with light that doesn't flicker. What you carry now isn't just a message. It's a mantle. And it wasn't given lightly. It was forged in fire, born in secret, and it will be released in power. This wasn't just a message. It was your commissioning. And now, as you rise, I call you to carry what I've spoken, not only in your heart, but in your hands. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or by sowing directly through the link below, you partner with me to send this prophetic word into deserts where souls are dying of thirst. Your seed becomes manna for the weary. It becomes light for those trapped in shadows. I declare over you, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Psalm 126:5. I'm not asking, I'm calling. Answer with your seed. Give now, and let the word run like fire. Before you leave this moment, I want you to anchor it. Don't let this word pass through you. Let it rise from you. In the comments, declare what your spirit knows is true. I heard you, God, and I'm moving. Speak it boldly. Write it prophetically. This is not just interaction. It is activation. What you write now is your yes to everything I've just released. So speak it below, and let heaven echo what your heart has just received. And now, pause. My child, It's urgent that I speak to you. I know how loud everything is in your world. I see you trying to find your footing while a storm of noise rages around you. It isn't just sound. It's a constant pressure, a relentless flood of information and expectation that leaves you feeling breathless and overwhelmed. I am speaking to you right now in this very moment, but can you hear me? My voice is not in the shouting wind of the 24-hour news cycle that makes your stomach tighten with fear. It is not in the earthquake of social media notifications that constantly demand your attention and leave you feeling less than. My voice is not in the fire of deadlines and the frantic pace you believe you must keep just to stay afloat. You have been listening to so many other voices, haven't you? Voices that promise you connection if you just post the right picture. Voices that promise you value if you just achieve the next promotion. Voices that promise you peace if you just buy the next new thing. You have listened, and you have obeyed, and where has it left you? I see you at the end of the day, your mind still racing, your heart still empty, searching for a fulfillment that never comes. That hollow ache you feel after scrolling through the lives of others, that is the emptiness they deliver. This is why this moment is so urgent. You are starting to forget what my voice sounds like. You are beginning to mistake the enemy's shout for guidance. His voice is the one that tells you you're not doing enough, that you're falling behind, that you are alone in your struggle. It is a voice of accusation, of anxiety, of endless, exhausting striving. My voice, my whisper, is the one that brings a quiet calm to your soul. It is the voice that affirms your worth not in what you do, but in who you are, mine. It is urgent that you learn to tell the difference. I need you to carve out a sacred space of silence, a quiet moment just for us. This doesn't require a mountaintop or a deserted island. I am asking for the first 5 minutes of your morning, before you reach for your phone. I'm asking for the drive home from work, with the radio turned off. Create a small sanctuary in your day where the world is shut out, and it is just you and I. For it is in the stillness, when your heart is not being pulled in 1,000 directions, that you can truly hear me. What I must tell you is too important, too intimate to be shouted over a crowd. It is a secret of the heart, a blueprint for your peace, a word of love meant for you and you alone. I know you feel the pull, the fear of missing out. You think if you disconnect, you will miss something vital. But I am telling you now, do not fear what you will miss from the world. Fear what you are missing from my kingdom. Fear missing the peace that could settle your anxious mind. Fear missing the clarity that could guide your next decision. Fear missing the deep, soul-quenching love that you are so desperately trying to find everywhere else. Turn down the volume of the world, my child, just for a moment, and listen. Before I say another word to you, before we go any deeper into the urgent matters of your heart, you must hear this. Let this truth be the very ground you stand on as you listen. You are deeply, completely, and unconditionally loved. Hear me again. Nothing you have ever done, nothing you did yesterday, and nothing you might do tomorrow can change this. Your mind immediately goes to your failures, doesn't it? You are already making a list in your head of all the reasons you don't deserve this love, all the times you have fallen short. You think my love is a reward for your good behavior, something you earn when you are strong, and something you lose when you are weak. This is the greatest lie the enemy tells you. My love for you is not a reaction to your goodness. It is the very reason for it. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you in eternity, before the foundations of the world were laid, knowing every mistake you would ever make. I chose you, knowing the secret thoughts you are ashamed of, knowing the words you wish you could take back, knowing the habits you struggle with in the dark. My love was never based on your performance. It is based on my character. Do not ever doubt your place as my child. That position was not given to you on a temporary basis. It was sealed for eternity by the sacrifice of my Son. When I look at you, I do not see you through the distorted lens of your latest failure. The world does that. People do that. Even you do that. You define yourself by your last mistake, allowing shame to become your identity. But I see you differently. When I look at you, I see the righteousness of Jesus. I see a beloved child, clothed in honor, seated in heavenly places. The urgency of this message I am bringing to you is born directly from this fierce, protective love. A love that cannot bear to see you living in bondage when I have paid for your freedom. A love that aches to see you carrying burdens I have already offered to carry for you. A love that knows the incredible purpose I have for your life and cannot stand to see you sidelined by compromise and distraction. So let this truth settle deep into your spirit, deeper than all the voices of accusation. Let it be the foundation upon which you hear everything else I have to say. My correction is not rejection. It is the ultimate act of loving restoration. It is the action of a father who loves his child too much to leave them wandering in a place of danger. You are mine. You are loved. You are chosen. Start from there. Always start from there. Now, my child, we must talk about your heart. I designed your heart to be my home, a throne room where I would dwell with you in perfect peace and fellowship. It was meant to be a place of undivided attention, a sanctuary dedicated to me. But lately, you have been entertaining other guests. You have allowed other things to take up residence in the space that was meant for me alone. You tell yourself it's not a big deal. You think you can manage it. You believe you can serve me on Sunday, but serve the idol of comfort throughout the week by avoiding every challenge that would cause you to grow. You think you can serve me in your quiet time, but serve the idol of acceptance at your workplace by staying silent when you should speak, by compromising your values to fit in. You think you can serve me with your tithe, but serve the idol of wealth with every other financial decision, your mind consumed by worry and the relentless pursuit of more. You cannot. You cannot have it both ways. A lukewarm spirit, one that is neither hot with passion for me nor cold in rejection, is distasteful to me. I am not looking for a small portion of your affection. I am not interested in being a part of your life. I desire to be the very center of it, the all-consuming fire in your heart. This is an urgent call for you to make a decision. Who will have your full allegiance? Look at your life, not just your words. Where does your time go? Where do your thoughts drift when you are not focused? What are you truly chasing after? The compromises you believe are so small, so insignificant, have created great breaches in your spiritual walls. Each time you chose comfort over calling, you left a small crack. Each time you chose the approval of others over obedience to me, you widened that crack. And now, through those breaches, the enemy has been pouring in anxiety, confusion, and fear. Your peace has been stolen, your joy has eroded, and your strength has been drained, and you wonder why. It is because your heart is divided. You cannot find true peace while trying to hold on to things I have asked you to release. This is an urgent call for you to return to your first love. Do you remember when it was just me? When your heart was completely mine? I am calling you back to that place, with your whole heart. Evict the other guests. Tear down the idols. Surrender every room, every corner back to me. I am waiting. You think you carry your burdens in secret. You put on a brave face for the world, a smile for your family, and you answer, "I'm fine," to your friends. But I see you. I see the crushing weight on your shoulders that you try so hard to hide. I see the tension in your jaw, the sleepless nights you spend staring at the ceiling, your mind replaying yesterday's regrets and rehearsing tomorrow's anxieties. You were never designed to carry all of that. When I created you, I did not build into your soul the capacity to bear the weight of the past and the future all at once. It is a load only I can handle. And the urgency of this, my child, is that you are near your breaking point. You feel it, don't you? The exhaustion that goes bone deep. The feeling that you just can't keep all the plates spinning for one more day. You are so close to shattering, but listen to me. I am your breaking through point. The moment you are ready to let go is the moment I can truly step in and show you my strength. You have been guarding these worries so fiercely, as if they were treasures. You clutch onto your anxieties about your finances, your concerns for your children, the unspoken tensions in your relationships, the pressure at your job. You hold them tightly because you think that worrying is a form of control. It is not. It is a form of bondage. Give them to me. Right now. I am not asking you to understand how I will solve them. I am not asking you to figure out a plan. I am simply asking you to open your hands and release them into mine. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. This does not mean a life with me is without challenges. It means you are no longer the one pulling the weight. Imagine a great plow in a field. You have been trying to drag it yourself, and your hands are raw. Your back is breaking. I am asking you to let me take the harness. Your only job is to walk beside me. I will break the hard ground. I see the silent tears that fall when no one is looking. I hear the prayers your heart cries that you cannot even form into words. I have not been distant. I have been waiting for you to stop trying to be your own strength. Do not wait until you are completely broken to turn to me. Let me be your strength right now, not your last resort. Let go of the weight. Breathe. I am here to carry it. I am sorry enough for all of you. Here is something else we must address, something that is poisoning your spirit from the inside out. There is a root of bitterness that has taken hold in the soil of your heart, and it is choking the life out of the good things I am trying to grow there. You know who I am talking about. As I speak these words, a face, a name, a memory just flashed into your mind. A wound is still there, isn't it? Still tender, still raw, no matter how much time has passed. You replay the conversation. You remember the betrayal. You feel the ache of the injustice all over again. In your mind, you are holding that person captive in a prison of their wrongdoing. You have appointed yourself the jailer, and you stand guard, refusing to let them go until they pay the debt you feel they owe you. But look closer, my child. You is really in a prison. They may be living their life, unaware or unconcerned, but you are trapped. You are chained to the very person who hurt you, forced to drag the memory of that pain with you everywhere you go. This unforgiveness is blocking the channel of my grace and healing in your own life. You pray for peace, but you hold on to bitterness. You ask for blessings, but you harbor resentment. You cannot have both. This is an urgent call from me to you. Release them. I am asking you to open the prison door and let them walk free from the debt you are holding over them. I am not asking you to do this because they deserve it. I am not asking you to pretend that what happened was okay. What they did was wrong. The pain was real. I am asking you to forgive because you deserve peace. You deserve to be free from the poison of bitterness that is making you sick. How can you do this? You do it by remembering. Remember the immense, immeasurable pardon you have received from me. Remember the mountain of your sin that I have cast into the depths of the sea, never to be brought up against you again. I canceled a debt for you that you could never have repaid in 1,000,000 lifetimes. It is from that place, from the overwhelming gratitude of your own forgiveness, that you can find the strength to extend mercy to someone else. Do not allow the enemy to use an old wound to control your present and steal your future. He loves to keep you focused on yesterday's pain, so you are too distracted to embrace today's purpose. The time is now. Make the choice. Speak the words even if your feelings haven't caught up. I forgive them. In that single act of obedience, your chains will fall. My child, pause before you turn away. I have just offered you the key to the prison of bitterness where you have been living. To see you walk away now, choosing to remain in chains when I have so much more freedom to give you, it would truly grieve my heart. You not stop. Let me finish the liberating work we have started in you. My grace is abundant. My mercy is new for you every single morning. This is a truth you can stand on. But my grace is not meant to be a comfortable blanket for you to wrap yourself in while you continue in something that is harming you. It is the power that enables you to break free. For some time now, I have been patient. I have been patient with a specific habit you keep returning to in secret. I have been patient with a mindset of negativity or complaint that has become your default. I have been patient with a relationship that you know is pulling you away from me, draining your spirit and compromising your walk. You have mistaken my patience for my approval. Because the consequences have not been immediate, you have assumed that I am okay with it. You have told yourself, God understands, and used it as an excuse to remain where you are. Listen to me carefully. My silence has not been an endorsement. It has been a space of mercy I have given you, an opportunity for you to see the error, to feel the emptiness of it, and to turn back to me on your own. It has been an act of love, waiting for a repentant heart. But the time of that leniency is drawing to a close. A choice must be made. You cannot continue with one foot in my path and one foot in a path that leads to destruction. The longer you linger, the harder your heart becomes, and the quieter my voice will seem. This is an urgent warning, my beloved child, spoken from a heart that adores you. You not trifle with sin. You not play games with disobedience. The enemy has convinced you that it's a small thing, that it doesn't really matter. That is a lie. That small thing is a foothold he is using to gain access to your heart, to steal your peace, and to neutralize your effectiveness for my kingdom. The wages of sin have not changed. All it leads to death. Death of joy, death of peace, death of intimacy with me. I am calling you out of it today, right now. Turn from it. Close the door on it and do not look back. If you do, you will not find an angry, disappointed father. You will find my arms wide open, ready to receive you. You will find a path of restoration already prepared for you. My grace is not just for your past sins, it is the power for your present victory. Take hold of it now. The time for hesitation is over. My child, we need to talk about how you see yourself. You have been measuring your worth with a broken ruler, a standard given to you by a world that does not know you and did not create you. You look in the mirror, and you see what the world has taught you to see. You measure your value by your job title, by the number in your bank account, by the likes on your latest post, or by how well you think you compare to those around you. You have been chasing after a version of success that I never designed for you, and it has left you feeling empty, purposeless, and perpetually falling short. You get the promotion, and the satisfaction is gone in a week. You reach a financial goal, and a new, higher goal immediately takes its place. You strive, and you end up exhausted, wondering, is this all there is? This is an urgent message for your heart. You have forgotten who you truly are. You have forgotten the unique and divine purpose I breathed into your spirit at the moment of your creation. Before a single day of your life had passed, I knew you. I designed you with a specific calling, a mission that no one else on this earth can fulfill. Your life is not a random series of events. It is a divine appointment. It is urgent that you stop chasing these fleeting, worldly ambitions and begin to embrace your eternal calling. I have placed gifts inside of you, powerful spiritual tools meant to be used for my glory. They are not just the big, obvious talents that the world applauds. Yes, for some it is the gift of leadership or teaching, but for you, it may be the profound gift of mercy that allows you to weep with those who weep. It may be the quiet gift of discernment that helps you see the truth in a confusing situation. It might be the powerful gift of hospitality that makes others feel seen and loved in your presence, or the gift of faith that allows you to stand firm when everyone else is shaking. These gifts are not meant to be locked away, gathering dust while you chase after things that will not last. They are lying dormant, waiting for you to say yes to me. Ask me to show you who you truly are. Dare to pray, Father, show me how you see me. Remind me of the purpose you gave me. If you ask with a sincere heart, I will begin to reawaken the dream I have for you. It may not look like the world's dream. It may not bring you fame or riches, but I promise you, it will bring you a depth of joy and fulfillment that no amount of worldly success ever could. Your purpose is not something you find out there. It is something you uncover in here, in the secret place of my presence. Step away from the world's broken ruler. Let me show you the masterpiece you truly are. I must speak to you with great urgency about the nature of your struggles. You have been treating a spiritual war like a simple battle of wits or willpower, and you are losing because you are using the wrong weapons. The overwhelming anxiety that descends on you like a fog, the cloud of confusion that muddles your thinking, the spirit of division that causes recurring arguments in your home and with your friends. You have been dismissing these things as random, as just a bad day, or as a flaw in your own personality. You must wake up, my child. These are not random occurrences. They are assignments from the enemy, targeted strategies designed to neutralize you and to keep you from walking in the purpose I have for you. You have been trying to fight this spiritual battle with earthly solutions. You try to think your way out of anxiety. You try to work harder to overcome the feeling of inadequacy. You try to win arguments with clever words. It is like bringing a self-help book to a sword fight. You are completely outmatched because you are fighting in the wrong realm. It is urgent that you recognize the battle for what it is and begin to use the weapons I have provided for you. You are not powerless, and you are not unarmed. I have given you a full suit of spiritual armor, but it does you no good if you leave it in the closet. You must consciously put it on every single day. The belt of truth is not just knowing my word. It is wrapping it so tightly around you that it holds you together when your feelings are trying to tear you apart. The shield of faith is not a passive belief. It is the active choice to lift up my promises to block the flaming arrows of doubt, fear, and accusation that the enemy fires at you. The sword of the Spirit, which is my word, is not meant to just be read. It is meant to be spoken aloud against the lies that bombard your mind. Your prayers are more powerful than you have ever believed. You have been treating prayer as a last resort, a final plea when you have exhausted all other options. This must stop. Prayer is your primary weapon. It is your direct communication with the command center of heaven. It is where you receive your strategy, where you find your strength, and where the battles for your destiny are won long before you ever see the results in the natural world. This is not a call for you to be afraid. It is a call to awareness. You are in a battle, but you are on the winning side. Now, stand firm in the authority I have given you through my Son, Jesus. Pick up your weapons and fight. My beloved, We must talk about the past. Not because I want you to dwell there, but because you are allowing it to imprison your present. You have allowed yesterday's shame to become today's identity, and it is robbing you of the freedom I have purchased for you. The enemy, the accuser, keeps playing that old movie in your head, doesn't he? He is a highlight reel of your worst moments, your biggest mistakes, your most painful failures. He plays it for you in the quiet of the night. He plays it when you are about to step out in faith. He whispers the familiar lines. Remember when you failed. Remember who you've hurt. Who do you think you are to try again? You are disqualified. You are damaged. And you have been listening to him. You have been agreeing with his accusations. Every time you allow guilt and shame over a past sin to dictate your actions today, you are calling me a liar. When I forgive, I also forget. It is not that I have amnesia. It is that I make a divine choice to never hold it against you again. I have taken your sins, all of them, and I have cast them into the depths of the sea. I have removed them as far as the east is from the west. This is my promise to you. So I must ask you, my child, why do you keep going fishing for them? It is urgent that you understand this spiritual dynamic. The enemy constantly reminds you of your past because he is absolutely terrified of your future. He knows that if you ever fully grasp the reality of my forgiveness, if you ever truly see yourself as I see you, clean, whole, and righteous in my Son, you would be unstoppable. Your past shame is the chain he uses to keep you small and silent. Today, I am giving you the key to break that chain. That key is to accept the fullness of my pardon. It is not something you have to feel. It is something you have to believe. Your past does not disqualify you. It is the very thing that qualifies you to receive my unending grace. Your story of being redeemed from that brokenness is the most powerful testimony you have. Stop hiding it. Stop letting it define you in a negative way. Let it be the backdrop against which my grace shines most brightly. So right now, in this moment, close the door. The trial is over. The verdict has been rendered. You are forgiven. You are free. The case is closed. Do not allow the enemy to reopen it. Today is a new day. My mercies are new. Walk in them. Listen closely, my child, for this is critical. You have been praying for a breakthrough. You have been begging me to move, to change your circumstances, to open a door. And I am answering. I'm moving. But you are in danger of missing it because you are looking for it in old ways. You are expecting me to show up in the same manner I have before. You are waiting for me to restore something that I have already declared is finished. I have told you in my word, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the wasteland. The very essence of this promise is that my solution will often appear in a place you least expect it, in a form you do not recognize. You have been asking me to open a door, but you are still standing in front of the old, locked door, jiggling the handle, praying I will force it open. I am calling to you. Turn around. There is a grief in letting go of a dream, a relationship, or a plan that you held so dear. But my new work requires new wineskins. You cannot pour the new thing I am doing into your old mindsets, your old habits, or your old expectations. If you do, the new wine will burst the old skins, and both will be lost. To walk into this new season with me will require you to trust me beyond your comfort zone and far beyond your past experiences. It will feel unfamiliar. It may even feel risky. Your logic will argue against it. Some people around you may not understand it, but you will know it is me by the peace that settles in your spirit. even amidst the uncertainty. I am calling you to let go of your grip on the past. Release the way you thought it should be, and embrace the way I am making it. The former things have passed away. I am your God, and I am ushering in the new. Be ready. Watch with expectation. Do not miss what I am doing right in front of you. I am standing at the threshold of the new thing I am doing in your life, ready to show you the path forward. Do not turn back to the wilderness now. It would deeply wound me to see you choose the familiar dust of your past when the glorious future I have planned is just one step away. Hear the rest of my counsel. You have been trying to live out your faith in isolation, and it is making you dangerously vulnerable. You have built up your walls, telling yourself it is safer this way. Perhaps you have been hurt in the past, even by people who called themselves my followers, and you have vowed to never let that happen again. You tell yourself, it's just me and God. I don't need anyone else. But that was never my design. A lone sheep is the enemy's favorite target. When a wolf scans a flock, it does not look for the strongest sheep in the middle. It looks for the one wandering off by itself, the one that is isolated and unprotected. By keeping yourself apart, you are making yourself an easy mark for the attacks of the enemy. I created you for fellowship. I designed you to live in connection, to bear one another's burdens, to celebrate one another's victories, and to sharpen one another as iron sharpens iron. When you cut yourself off from the body of believers, you are cutting yourself off from a vital source of strength, wisdom, and protection that I have provided for you. This is an urgent call for you to find and commit to a body of believers where you can be known and where you can be sharpened. This is not about simply attending a service once a week to sit in a pew and then leave. I am talking about authentic community, a place where you can take off the mask you wear for the rest of the world and be honest about your struggles without fear of judgment. A place where trusted brothers and sisters can pray for you with power, speak truth into your life with love, and hold you accountable with grace. Do not forsake the gathering of the saints. When you are together, there is a corporate strength, a unified power in prayer that you are missing when you are on your own. I know it requires vulnerability. I know it can be messy because my church is filled with imperfect, broken people, just like you. But hiding your struggles is not a sign of strength. It is a symptom of pride. Allowing others to see your weaknesses and to help you is a pathway to accelerated healing and growth. You do not have to carry your burdens alone. I have given you a family. It is urgent that you stop trying to survive on an island. Find your flock. Let them in. Your safety and your growth depend on it. My child, look at your hands. They are clenched, aren't they? Look at your shoulders. They are tight with tension, pulled up towards your ears. You are striving, constantly striving. Your mind is a whirlwind of planning, managing, and worrying. You believe that the weight of your world rests entirely upon you, and that if you were to let go, even for a moment, everything you have built would crumble into dust. Your anxiety has become so normal to you that you mistake it for responsibility. You tell yourself that this constant, frantic effort is what it means to be a diligent person. But I am telling you now, it is a symptom of a life lived outside of trust in my sovereign plan. You were never meant to live like this. The exhaustion you feel, the kind that sleep does not fix, is the direct result of you trying to do a job that only I can do. You are trying to be your own God, controlling outcomes, manipulating situations, and trying to secure a future that you cannot see. Your hands are raw from trying to control things that belong only to me. It is urgent that you hear me on this. Cease your striving, and know that I am God. Read those words again. Teeth. Striving is a command, but it is also an invitation. an invitation to a peace that you have long forgotten is possible. You fear that surrender is defeat. You believe it means giving up. But surrender to me is not defeat. It is the ultimate victory. It is the wise and strategic act of entrusting your life into the most capable, most powerful, and most loving hands in the entire universe. Imagine you are in a small boat in the middle of a powerful river. You have been paddling against the current with all your might, growing more exhausted with every stroke, making no progress. I am not asking you to paddle harder. I am asking you to put down the oars. Let go. Trust the current of my spirit. I know where the river is going. I know the destination I have for you, and it is a good one, even when the path leads through the dark valleys. Your job is not to control the river. Your job is to rest in the boat and trust me as your guide. So let go of the need to understand everything. Let go of the demand to see the full path ahead. Your peace will not be found in understanding your circumstances, but in trusting me, the one who understands all things. Lay down the heavy burden of control. Unclench your hands. Relax your shoulders. Be still, my beloved, and let me be God in your life. You have just heard my call to cease your striving and rest in my sovereign hand. As that peace settles upon your heart, a desire may be rising within you to bring this same rest to another soul lost in the storm of anxiety. This is a divine appointment. Your gift becomes a river of my peace, flowing from this channel to a heart drowning in worry. I declare over you my promise. He who supplies seed to the sower will supply and multiply your seed for sowing. As you become my provision for them, I will ensure that you have all you need, abounding in every good work. Your act of giving is a profound act of rest, proving you trust me as your source. Now, sow your seed of faith through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below and release my rest into the world. We must now address what comes out of your mouth. You have been careless with your words, treating them as if they are insignificant puffs of air, but I have designed them to be powerful spiritual containers. The tongue, though a small part of the body, is the rudder that steers the entire ship of your life. And you have been steering your life directly into storms of your own making. You speak words of fear, doubt, and limitation over yourself and your situations, and then you wonder why you feel trapped. In the morning, you look in the mirror, and you say, "I'm so tired. I can't do this." You look at your bills and you mutter, "I'll never get out of this debt." You face a challenge in your family and you declare, "This is impossible. Nothing is ever going to change." My child, do you not understand? With every negative word, you are building a prison around yourself. You are prophesying your own defeat. You are aligning your mouth not with my truth, but with the lies of the enemy. You are planting seeds of failure with your own tongue, and then you are dismayed when you reap a harvest of despair. It is urgent that you stop this. It is urgent that you align your tongue with my truth and begin to use your words as the powerful, creative force I intended them to be. Your words have the power of life and death. You get to choose which one you will speak. I am calling you today to stop describing your life the way it is and start declaring your life the way I say it is in my word. When you feel weak, I want you to open your mouth and declare, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." When you face lack, I want you to declare, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory." When you are filled with fear, you must speak and say, "God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." This is not a game of pretending. This is an act of spiritual warfare. You are creating a spiritual atmosphere with every word you speak. Complaining and grumbling invite the presence of the devourer. Praise and thanksgiving invite my presence. Speaking doubt gives the enemy a foothold. Speaking faith unleashes my power. Tame your tongue, my child. It is the most powerful creative or destructive force you possess. Begin today. Speak life. Speak hope. Speak my promises. Steer your life toward the destination I have for you. Listen to me, my beloved. Do not be afraid of what I am about to say, but hear it with a sober and prepared spirit. Everything in your world that can be shaken will be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. You have been watching the world, and you feel the instability. You see it in the economies, in the governments, in the shifting cultures, and it has planted a seed of fear in your heart. This is because you have, in subtle ways, built parts of your life on the sinking sand of these worldly systems. Your sense of security has become entangled with the performance of your retirement account. Your peace has become dependent on the stability of the political landscape. Your hope has been placed in human institutions and leaders. And I am telling you with urgent love that these things are sand. They are temporary and they are unstable. And a time is coming when they will be shaken to their very foundations. It is urgent that you anchor yourself completely and utterly to the rock, who is Christ. I am your only true source of security. I am your only unshakable foundation. Do not be alarmed when you see turmoil and chaos in the world. I have told you in my word that these things would happen. This is not a surprise to me. Therefore, it should not be a cause of panic for you. This coming shaking is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to purify you. It is designed to reveal what you are truly trusting in. It is my mercy to show you the weak places in your foundation before the storm hits with its full force. Your security must come from my kingdom alone, not from your finances, not from your health, not even from your family, but from your unshakable position as my child. This is not a time to fear. It is a time to fortify. It is time to intentionally transfer your trust. Actively take your confidence out of the world's systems and place it firmly in me. Spend time building your life on my word. Strengthen your prayer life. Deepen your roots into my love. Then, when the winds blow and the rains fall, and they will, you will not be moved. You will remain standing, not because of your own strength, but because your life is built upon the only thing in the universe that cannot be shaken, me. My child, let us talk about the time we spend together. Your prayers have become a list of requests, a transaction rather than a conversation. You approach me like a divine vending machine. You insert your prayer, you list your needs and desires, and you wait for me to dispense your answer. You have forgotten that the purpose of prayer is not just to get things from me, but to get me. I desire your presence far more than I desire your petitions, though I care for those deeply too. I long for intimacy with you. I long for you to come to me with no other agenda than to simply be with me, to share your heart, and to listen for mine. The blessings you seek are found in the outer courts of my presence, and I am happy to give them to you. But the deep peace, the unshakable strength, and the divine wisdom you truly crave are found only in the holy place of intimacy, and few are willing to go there. It is urgent that you move from the outer courts into this deeper place. This is where our relationship is transformed. In that secret place, when you are quiet before me, I will begin to share my heart with you, not just grant your wishes. I will give you my perspective on your situation. I will reveal my strategy for your battles. I will uncover the roots of the issues you are facing, not just the symptoms you are praying about. Prayer is where the battles for your destiny are won before they are ever fought in the world you can see. You are fighting too hard in your own strength because you are not spending enough time receiving my strength in the secret place. I am not asking for more of your words. Often, I am asking for more of your silence. Come, sit with me. Turn off the noise. Put down your list. And just listen. Tell me what is truly on your heart. Your fears, your joys, your disappointments. I am not a distant king on a throne. I am your father, and I am your friend. I have secrets of my kingdom that I am longing to share with you, strategies that will unlock your future, words of love that will heal your deepest wounds. But I will not shout them into the noisy outer court. I whisper them in the holy place of intimacy. Come deeper, my beloved. I am waiting for you. We are moving into the deeper matters now, into the holy place of intimacy. To leave this conversation here would be like a beloved child running out of their father's embrace just as he was about to share a treasured secret. My spirit would be saddened by the missed opportunity. Do not go. There is more I must entrust to you. You have experienced my grace. You have seen me move in your life. You have grown, and you have overcome challenges where you once failed. For this, I rejoice with you. But I must give you an urgent warning, for a subtle and dangerous enemy has begun to creep into your heart. That enemy is spiritual pride. You have begun, in small ways, to take credit for the growth and blessings that have come directly from my hand. You look at your progress, and a quiet thought forms. I'm doing pretty well. You look at another believer who is struggling, and a sense of superiority, however fleeting, rises within you. You have started to believe that your spiritual disciplines are what earn my favor, rather than being a response to a favor that is already freely given. You have begun to mistake my gifts in you for your own goodness. Pride is the most dangerous of all sins because it hardens the heart and makes it completely resistant to my instruction. It creates a hard, impenetrable shell that my living water of grace cannot get through. Remember this, my child. Every good and perfect gift in your life is from me. Your intelligence, your talents, your spiritual growth, your material blessings, all of it is a gift of my grace. You are a steward, not the source. It is urgent that you humble yourself before me, before I am compelled to do it for you. For I promise you this, I will not allow a proud heart to remain in my beloved child, for I love you too much to let it destroy you. I resist the proud, but I give grace, unending grace, to the humble. A broken and contrite heart, a heart that knows its desperate need for me, is a sacrifice I will never despise. In fact, that heart is the most fertile ground for my greatest works. So examine your heart now. Have you become quick to offer advice but slow to receive it? Has gratitude been replaced by a sense of entitlement? You find yourself comparing your spiritual walk to others. Confess this pride to me now. Return to that place of utter dependence on me. The true measure of greatness in my kingdom is not how high you can climb, but how low you are willing to stoop to serve others in humility. That is the heart of my son. That is the heart I am calling you back to today. My child, you have been standing at a crossroads. I have spoken to you, not in a thunderous voice from heaven, but in the quiet, persistent nudging of your spirit. I have shown you the way to go. You have asked for my will, and I have made it clear. It is that step of faith you are afraid to take. It is that difficult conversation you have been avoiding. It is that act of obedience that requires you to leave your comfort zone. You have been standing there for weeks, for months, perhaps even for years, weighing the cost, calculating the risk, waiting for a sign that is clearer than the one I have already given you. You are waiting for all your questions to be answered, for the fear to completely disappear, for the entire path to be illuminated before you take a single step. And I am speaking to you with great urgency today to tell you, the time for hesitation is over. Your destiny, and the destinies of those connected to you, are linked to your next step of faith. You must understand that procrastination in the spirit is a form of disobedience. It is a polite no to my instruction. You are not waiting for more clarity. You are wrestling with fear. You fear failure. You fear the opinions of others. You fear the unknown. You have convinced yourself that waiting is the wise thing to do, but your waiting is not born of patience. It is born of unbelief. You are like a man standing at the edge of a great canyon, praying for me to build a bridge to the other side, while I have been telling you all along that the bridge will appear under your feet the moment you have the courage to step out. The provision you have been praying for is not where you are standing now, in the land of comfort and familiarity. The provision is in the going. The strength you need will not be given to you while you sit and analyze. The strength will come the moment you rise and walk. Faith is not seeing the whole staircase. Faith is taking the next step even when you can only see it faintly in the dark, trusting that I have already built the one after that. Your analysis has led to paralysis. You have thought about it from every angle, and now you are stuck. The time for thinking is over. The time for acting is now. I am not asking you to take 10 steps. I am asking you to take one. Just one. Take the first step, and I will show you the next. Do not wait for the fear to leave. Step out in the midst of the fear, and you will find that I am with you, and my grace is sufficient. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your obedience. Step out now. As you consider taking that step of faith, the voice of the accuser immediately begins its work. It points to your weaknesses, holding them up for your inspection. You have a list of them, don't you? You know them by heart. You think about your impatience, your lack of formal training, your past failures, your emotional struggles. You look at this long list of inadequacies, and you have concluded that I must have made a mistake. You believe that these weaknesses disqualify you from the very thing I am calling you to do. You have been striving to overcome them in your own power, trying to present to me a version of yourself that is strong, polished, and perfect, believing that only then will you be useful to me. This effort has utterly exhausted you. It is a heavy, impossible burden, and you are collapsing under the weight of it. It is urgent that you understand this profound and life-altering truth. My power is made perfect in your weakness. Your inadequacies, the very things you are trying so hard to hide, are the very platform upon which I intend to display my glory. You see your weakness as a liability. I see it as an opportunity. You see it as a disqualification. I see it as the prerequisite for my power to flow through you. As long as you believe you are strong in yourself, you will rely on your own talents, your own intellect, your own abilities, and you will only be able to accomplish what your own limited strength can accomplish. But when you come to the end of yourself, when you stand before me and admit, I cannot do this, I am not enough, that is the moment my grace rushes in. Your weakness creates a space and emptiness that only my strength can fill. Your inadequacies ensure that when I move through you to do something miraculous, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was me, and not you, and I alone will receive the glory. Stop hiding your struggles. Stop pretending you have it all together. Your desperate need for me is not something to be ashamed of. It is your greatest asset. Begin to boast in your weakness, for when you are weak in your own ability, then you are truly strong in mine. Surrender your striving for perfection. Let go of the exhausting pretense. Stand before me in your beautiful, authentic weakness, and allow me to be your all in all. Where you are weak, I am infinitely strong. Let your inadequacy be the canvas for my masterpiece. My child, we must now address the affections of your heart. It has become entangled, sticky with the pursuits and pleasures of this temporary age. Your attention, your energy, and your desires have been captured by the world system, and it is drawing your heart away from me. When I speak of the world, I am not speaking of the beautiful planet I created or the people I so dearly love. I am speaking of the system that is built in opposition to me, a system founded on pride, on greed, on envy, and on self-glorification. It is the relentless pressure to acquire more, to be more, to achieve more by a standard that has nothing to do with my kingdom. It is the subtle allure of comfort, the constant chase for fleeting happiness, and the desperate need for human approval. And your heart has fallen in love with it. You have allowed its values to become your values. You measure your success by its metrics. You spend your precious, unrepeatable days chasing its treasures, which are like sand that will ultimately slip through your fingers. It is urgent that you understand this. Friendship with the world system is enmity with me. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot set your heart on things above while your hands are desperately clinging to the things of this earth. You must choose. The world system and all its desires are passing away. They are a trap for your soul, promising fulfillment but delivering only a deeper ache. I am calling you to set your mind and heart on things above, on what is eternal. I am calling you to seek eternal treasures, the kind that neither moth nor rust can destroy, and where thieves cannot break in and steal. What are these treasures? A character that has been refined into the image of my Son. A heart that is filled with love, joy, and peace. A life that has been poured out in service to others. These are the only investments that pay an eternal dividend. Your true citizenship is in heaven. You are an ambassador here, not a permanent resident. An ambassador may live in a foreign country, but their primary allegiance, their values, their hope, and their mission are all tied to their home country. Live like that. Use the resources of this world, but do not let them capture your heart. Your time, your finances, your talents, they are all tools to be used for an eternal purpose. It is time to untangle your affections. Reorder your loves. Place me first, and let everything else fall into its proper place. I see the wounds in your heart caused by the words and actions of others. You have been misunderstood. You have been falsely accused. You have been slandered. And the injustice of it all burns within you. Your mind is consumed with it. You spend hours of your day replaying the events, crafting the perfect defense in your mind, imagining the conversation where you finally set the record straight and prove your innocence. You are spending precious emotional and spiritual energy in a battle that I have already promised to fight for you. You believe it is your responsibility to defend your name, to protect your reputation, to manage what others think of you. You are exhausting yourself, trying to be your own lawyer, your own judge, and your own public relations team, and it is stealing your peace and distracting you from your true assignment. You are striving to clear a name that is already perfectly safe and secure in my hands. It is urgent that you hear me and obey me in this. Lay it down. Cease your self-defense. Place your reputation, your name, and the entire unjust situation into my hands and trust me to be your vindicator. My word is clear. Vengeance is mine. I will repay. This is not just a warning to those who do wrong. It is a profound comfort for you who have been wronged. It is my promise to you that I see, I know, and I will bring about perfect justice in my perfect time. Your role is not to seek revenge or even to defend yourself. Your role is to forgive, to bless, and to walk in love, and trusting the outcome entirely to me. I know this is a radical and difficult command. The world tells you to fight for your rights, to clear your name at all costs. But I am calling you to a higher way. I am calling you to the way of my Son, who, when he was reviled, did not revile in return. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but continued entrusting himself to him who judges justly. Silence in the face of accusation can be the most profound act of trust in me. It is a declaration that your identity is not based on what others think of you, but on what I know to be true about you. So, stop the internal arguments. Stop striving to prove your point. Release the offenders to me. I will be your defense. I will be your shield. And I will bring the truth to light in a way that you never could. Rest in that. I have just taken from you the heavy, broken weapons of pride and self-defense with which you have been fighting. Do not walk away now, disarmed and vulnerable to the enemy's schemes. It would disappoint me greatly to see you return to the battle without receiving the true, victorious armor I have for you. Stay, and let me fully equip you. My child, we must talk about what is in your hands. You have been living with a mindset of scarcity, a spirit of poverty. You look at your finances, your time, and your talents, and your first thought is, I don't have enough. This fear of lack has caused you to clench your fists, to hold on tightly to what you have. You see giving as a loss. You see serving as a drain. You see generosity as a risk you cannot afford to take. You have been functioning like a reservoir, designed to collect and hold, and the resources I have given you have become stagnant. The joy has leaked out of what you possess because it is not flowing. I did not design you to be a reservoir. I designed you to be a conduit, a channel through which my blessings could flow to a world in desperate need. Your fear of not having enough is a direct contradiction to your faith in me as your source and your provider. It is urgent that you break this mindset of scarcity. It is a lie from the enemy designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of fear and to cut off the flow of my abundance in your life. I am calling you to become a conduit. I am calling you to open your hand. Your finances, your time, your home, your skills, these are not treasures to be hoarded. They are seeds meant to be sown. If a farmer keeps all his seed locked away in the barn for fear of losing it, he will only ever have what he started with. But if he sows it into the ground, if he gives it away, it will multiply in ways he could never accomplish on his own. This is a fundamental principle of my kingdom. A generous heart is a heart that truly trusts me. It is a heart that knows that I own the cattle on 1,000 hills and that my resources are infinite. It is a heart that understands that I can do more with the 10% you give in faith than you can do with the 100% you keep in fear. Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not a formula to get rich. It is a promise of my kingdom's flow. The measure you use to give, whether generously or sparingly, will be the measure used for you. I am challenging you today. Step out in faith. Be a giver. Start with what you have. Give a kind word. Give an hour of your time. Give a small amount financially. Open your hand and watch as I open the windows of heaven over your life. My child, I must urgently address where you have been placing your focus. Your eyes have been on the path I have laid out for your brother or your sister, and it is robbing you of the joy of your own. You scroll through their lives, you hear their good news, and instead of pure celebration, a subtle poison of comparison seeps into your heart. You see their season of harvest, and you look at your own season of planting and quiet tilling of the soil, and you call your life a failure. You see the way I am using them, and you question the validity of your own assignment. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it is the sworn enemy of the contentment I long for you to possess. It is a tool of the accuser, designed to make you feel that you are behind, that you have been forgotten, and that my goodness is for everyone but you. It is a lie, and you have been believing it. You must understand, I am a God of infinite creativity and personal detail. I am not a factory producing identical products. I am a master artist, and you are a unique, one-of-a-kind masterpiece. The journey I have designed for you is tailor-made, is specifically crafted to shape your character, to develop your unique gifts, and to fulfill a purpose that no one else can. To compare your journey to another's is like an oak tree lamenting that it cannot produce roses, or a lion grieving that it cannot fly like an eagle. It is a foolish and fruitless exercise. It is urgent that you fix your eyes back on me and on the specific, beautiful path I have set before you. Their season of public victory may have been preceded by a long season of private struggle that you did not see. Your current season of hiddenness and preparation is just as vital and valuable as their season of public fruitfulness. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. Do not curse the fallow ground where I am doing a deep work within you. I am calling you to a radical act of faith, to celebrate the blessings of others as if they were your own. When you see me bless your brother, it is not a sign that I have forgotten you. It is proof and a promise that you serve a God who is good, a Father who loves to bless his children, and your turn is coming. Resentment and envy block the channel through which my blessings can flow to you. They grieve my spirit and blind you to the countless, specific ways I am already showing you my favor. Your race is not their race. Your lane is not their lane. The only one you need to keep up with is me. The only one you need to measure yourself against is the person you were yesterday. So, lay down the heavy burden of comparison. Look out of the court of public opinion. Turn your eyes away from their path and look to me, the author and the perfecter of your faith. I have not forgotten you. I am with you. Now, run the race I have set before you. As you commit to run the unique race I have set before you, your eyes are now open to those still trapped in the chains of comparison. If your spirit is stirred to help them find their own path to freedom, know that this is a holy invitation from me to partner in their liberation. Your giving becomes a lamp, lighting the sacred path for another soul who is lost in the darkness of envy. I declare over your life that you are the light of the world, and as you provide the oil for other lamps to shine, your own will never run dry. I will protect your harvest and ensure your own race is marked by favor and abundance. Respond to this urgent call now. Give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link, and send forth my liberating light. My beloved child, we must have an urgent and honest conversation about your body. You have been treating it with negligence, as if it were a disposable container for your soul, a mere vehicle to get you through life. You have forgotten its sacredness. Your body, the one I knit together in your mother's womb with wondrous and intricate care, is the very temple of my Holy Spirit. I have chosen to make my dwelling place not in buildings made of stone and wood, but within you. And you have been dishonoring my home. You dishonor it with the food you consume without thought, fueling it with things that bring sluggishness and disease rather than strength and vitality. You dishonor it by depriving it of the rest it desperately needs, pushing it beyond its limits in the name of productivity, all while your spirit grows weary and your mind becomes clouded. You dishonor it with what you allow your eyes to see and your ears to hear, pouring in images and sounds of impurity and fear that defile the sacred space where I am meant to dwell in peace. This is a spiritual issue of the highest urgency. Your physical health and your spiritual vitality are deeply and inseparably connected. How can you have the energy to fulfill the purpose I have for you if your body is burdened by neglect? How can your mind be a clear channel for my wisdom if it is foggy from exhaustion? How can your spirit soar if your body, its container, is broken down? I am calling you to glorify me in your body. This is not a call to vanity or to the worship of physical appearance. It is a call to stewardship. It is a call to honor. I am not giving you a legalistic list of rules to follow. I am inviting you into a new level of worship, where caring for your body is an act of love and reverence to me, its creator and its inhabitant. Discipline is not punishment. It is the training required for reigning with me. It is the loving choice to say no to a momentary pleasure for the sake of a greater strength and a higher calling. I am urgently asking you to begin today. Present your body to me as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Make conscious, prayerful choices about what you eat, how you rest, and what you consume with your senses. This is not about achieving a perfect body by the world's standards. It is about stewarding a holy temple for my glory. Honor my dwelling place, and you will find a new strength and clarity for the journey ahead. In the midst of your struggles, in the silence of your darkest nights, you have cried out, "God, where are you?" You have felt an immense distance between us, as if your prayers are hitting a brass ceiling, as if I am a far-off deity, seated on a distant throne, unconcerned with the details of your small, aching life. This feeling of my absence, my child, is the most painful lie the enemy tells you. He works relentlessly to make you feel abandoned because an isolated believer is a defeated believer. It is with the utmost urgency that your heart must grasp this truth. I am not distant. I am closer than the air you breathe. In me you live, and you move, and you have your being. I am not a God who is out there. I have made my home in here, inside of you. The moment you gave your life to my Son, my Holy Spirit took up residence in you, sealing you, comforting you, and connecting you to me in an unbreakable, intimate union. The distance you feel is not a reality. It is a perception. It is a fog of fear and distraction that the enemy has created to blind you to my presence. You look for me in a grand feeling, in a thunderous sign, in a miraculous turnaround of your circumstances. And when those things don't come in your timing, you conclude that I am not there. But I am in the quiet rhythm of your own heartbeat, which I am sustaining even now. I am in the gentle conviction that rises in your spirit after you have said a harsh word. I am in the unexplained peace that sometimes settles on you, even for a moment, in the middle of your chaos. I am here. Draw near to me, and I promise you, I will draw near to you. This is not a great distance you must travel. It is simply a turning of your attention. It is a conscious choice to shift your focus from your problem to your provider, who is already with you. Right now, as you hear these words, be still. Pause. Take a slow, deep breath. That very air filling your lungs is a gift from me, a sign of my sustaining presence. Acknowledge me. Whisper my name. The space between us is not a chasm, it is the holy ground of your own heart. I am not in a building. I am in you. I am with you. I am for you. Let this truth extinguish the lie of loneliness forever. My beloved, for too long your faith has been a private, internal affair. You have focused on your personal growth, your personal peace, and your personal blessings. And while I delight in your growth, you have missed a critical part of your purpose. You have become so focused on being blessed that you have forgotten that you were blessed to be a blessing. I am now urgently calling you to lift up your eyes. Look beyond the narrow confines of your own life. Look out at the world around you with my eyes. What do you see? I see a vast field, white for harvest. I see millions of souls who are aching with a pain they cannot name, searching for a hope they cannot find, and starving for a love they do not know exists. They are your colleagues at work who mask their despair with professionalism. They are your neighbors who smile and wave but are silently falling apart behind closed doors. They are even members of your own family who know about me but do not truly know me. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. You have been content to be a spectator in the stands when I have called you to be a player on the field. You have become a comfortable consumer of sermons and worship songs, but the point of being fed is to be strengthened for the work, and the work is the harvest. I hear your excuses immediately. I am not qualified. I am not a preacher. I don't know enough theology. I am too broken myself. I am not asking for your ability. I am asking for your availability. I am not asking for your perfection. I am asking for your compassion. The most powerful tool I have given you is not a deep knowledge of Scripture. It is your personal story of how my grace has worked in your life. Your testimony of how I met you in your brokenness, how I forgave your sin, how I am healing your heart. That is a message of hope that no one can argue with. You do not need a stage. Your harvest field is your daily life. Your mission is to simply be my hands to serve the weak, my feet to walk alongside the lonely, and my voice to speak a word of hope to the despairing. Who will go for me? The time for sitting is over. It is urgent that you see the hurting souls around you and step into the field. The time is now to be a fisher of men. You have been healed, strengthened, and reminded of who you are. Now I must show you why. To receive all this grace only to keep it for yourself would be a source of profound sorrow for me, like a gifted messenger refusing to deliver a life-saving message. Your mission is not yet fully revealed. You must listen. My child, we must address the state of your spiritual diet. You have been attempting to survive, and even to fight a spiritual war, while being severely malnourished. You have been feeding your spirit with the spiritual equivalent of junk food. You snack on inspirational quotes you find online. You nibble on short video clips and podcast sound bites. You listen to what other people say about me. While some of these things may not be bad in themselves, they are like sugary snacks. They give you a quick, fleeting feeling of encouragement, but they lack the deep, life-sustaining substance your soul desperately needs. You have been neglecting the feast, the daily bread, the rich and powerful nourishment I have prepared for you in my written word. And the result is that your spirit has become weak, your convictions have become shallow, and your ability to discern truth from error has been compromised. You are easily swayed by your emotions, easily tossed about by circumstances, and easily deceived by the lies of the enemy because you are not anchored in the unshakable truth of the Scriptures. It is urgent that you return to my word. It is not merely a book of ancient stories or a list of religious rules. It is alive. It is active. It is sharper than any two-edged sword. It is your daily bread, the very substance that builds spiritual strength and moral fiber. It is a lamp for your feet, illuminating the next step you need to take when you are walking in darkness and confusion. It is a mirror that shows you the true condition of your heart and reflects back to you who you are becoming in me. It is the sword of the Spirit, your only offensive weapon against the attacks of the enemy. You have told me you are too busy. You have said you do not have time. But do you have time to live in confusion? Do you have time to be defeated by the same struggles over and over again? You make time for what you value. I am calling you to reevaluate your priorities. I am not asking for hours. I am asking for a conscious, deliberate decision to open the book. Start small. A few verses. A single chapter. But do it with a hungry heart. Do not just read my word for information. Let it read you. Ask my Spirit to speak to you through its pages, to shape your thinking, to correct your course, and to transform your character. The wisdom, strength, and direction you need for every single decision you face are waiting for you within its pages. Stop starving your spirit. Come and eat. My child, I must now speak to you about the atmosphere of your heart. In recent days, and perhaps for longer than you realize, A subtle soundtrack of grumbling and complaining has been playing in the background of your life. It has become so constant that you barely notice it anymore. You complain when you are stuck in traffic. You sigh with frustration over your workload. You grumble about the actions of your family members. You lament what you do not have, and you overlook what you do. This attitude, which seems so small and harmless to you, is a grievous thing to my spirit. It is the language of unbelief. It is the anthem of the orphan, not the song of a beloved child who trusts their father. This attitude of complaint is a spiritual poison. It blinds you to the countless, miraculous blessings I have already woven into the fabric of your day. It magnifies your problems until they block out the sun of my goodness. And it is a wide-open invitation for the enemy, the accuser, to come in and agree with you, to amplify your negativity, and to steal what little peace you have left. It is urgent that you understand this. Thanksgiving is not a polite suggestion. It is a spiritual weapon. It is one of the most powerful forms of warfare you can engage in. A grateful heart is a fortress that the enemy cannot penetrate. When you choose to give thanks in the midst of a difficult circumstance, you are making a powerful declaration of faith. You are saying, "My problem is big, but my God is bigger. I do not understand this, but I trust the one who does. My feelings may be telling me to despair, but I choose to declare the goodness of God." This silences the accuser. It shifts the entire spiritual atmosphere from one of fear and lack to one of faith and abundance. I am urgently calling you to cultivate a heart of gratitude, not as a feeling, but as a discipline. Start a new habit today. Before your feet hit the floor in the morning, before you even think of your to-do list or your troubles, I want you to speak aloud 5 things you are thankful for. Before you bring me your list of petitions and prayer, first bring me your list of praises for what I have already done. When you are tempted to complain about a situation, I want you to pause and force yourself to find something, anything, in that situation for which you can be thankful. This practice will transform you from the inside out. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. It is the fertile ground in which I love to plant my greatest blessings. Stop poisoning your spirit with complaint and start unleashing the power of a thankful heart. My child, you have been asking me for direction. You feel you are at a crossroads, and you are waiting for a grand sign, a dramatic revelation to show you the way forward. You are looking for me to write my will for you in the sky or to send a prophet with a detailed 5-year plan. And in your searching for the spectacular, you are completely missing the sound of my voice. You must understand, my beloved, that while I can and sometimes do speak in dramatic ways, the primary way I guide you and grow you is in the small things. I speak in the quiet assignments of this very day. Your great destiny is not found in one giant leap, but in 1,000 small, faithful steps. You are looking for your great calling, but you are despising the day of small beginnings. The truth is, your next big assignment from me is almost always unlocked by your obedience in the small task I have already given you. I have been testing your faithfulness in these little things. It is the quiet prompting of my spirit to call and encourage that friend you have been thinking about. It is the instruction to be patient and kind with a difficult family member, even when they do not deserve it. It is the call to be a person of integrity in a small financial matter when no one is looking. It is the assignment to put down your phone and give your full attention to the person in front of you. These are not insignificant, random thoughts. These are my instructions. These are your training grounds. You are praying for me to entrust you with much, but you have not yet proven yourself faithful with the little I have already given you. Why would I give you authority over a great ministry if you have not learned to faithfully serve the few people in your life right now? Why would I entrust you with great wealth if you have not learned to be generous and wise with the small amount you currently have? Do not despise these small, hidden acts of obedience. They are the building blocks of your character. They are the spiritual muscles you are developing for the greater weights I intend for you to carry. A simple yes to a small prompting of my spirit can be the single thread that, when you follow it, leads you into the center of the grand tapestry I am weaving with your life. Stop waiting for the thunderous voice from the heavens. Listen for my whisper in the next small thing I am asking you to do. Your entire future can change in that one small act of obedience. My beloved, the enemy has been waging a relentless war against your joy. He has used disappointments, frustrations, weariness, and the anxieties of this life to systematically drain it from you. He has done this with strategic purpose, because he knows a secret that you have forgotten. The joy of the Lord is your strength. And joyless Christian is a weak and powerless Christian. You have allowed your circumstances to dictate your level of joy, and because your circumstances have been difficult, your joy has withered, and your strength has vanished with it. You have confused joy with happiness. Happiness is a fleeting emotion based on your happenings. If things are going well, you are happy. If things are going poorly, you are unhappy. Happiness is as fickle as the weather. But joy, my child, is not an emotion. It is a fruit of my spirit dwelling within you. It is a deep, abiding confidence in my goodness, my sovereignty, and my love for you, regardless of your external circumstances. Joy is the sun that is always shining, even when it is hidden behind the dark clouds of your trials. It is urgent that you reclaim this joy, for your strength depends on it. How do you do this? You do not wait to feel joyful. You choose to rejoice. My word commands you, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a command, and it is a key to your victory. It is an act of spiritual warfare. You choose to rejoice not in your problems, but in me. You rejoice that I am on the throne. You rejoice that my promises are true. You rejoice that you are loved and forgiven. You rejoice that your future is secure in me. When you feel the heaviness of despair trying to settle upon you, I want you to open your mouth and begin to sing praises to me, even if your voice is trembling and your eyes are filled with tears. The very act of praise is a declaration of faith that breaks the power of oppression. It is the act of manually opening the spiritual floodgates to allow the river of my joy to flow into your heart again. Do not let the enemy have this victory. Do not let him steal your strength by stealing your joy. It is a gift I have placed inside of you. It is your inheritance. It is time to reclaim it. Choose joy today, not because your circumstances are good, but because your God is. My child, your hope has grown tired. The flame of your expectation, which once burned so brightly, has dwindled to a faint flicker. You still go through the motions. You still say your prayers. But if you are honest, deep down in your heart, you have stopped expecting me to truly show up in a powerful and miraculous way. Past disappointments have worn you down. Prayers that seem to go unanswered have created a subtle cynicism in your spirit. You have begun to shrink your vision of what is possible down to the size of what you have experienced in the past. You are praying for a small rain shower when I am longing to send a flood of my blessing. You are asking for a minor repair when I want to do a complete renovation. Your lack of expectation has put a low ceiling on what you are positioned to receive from me. And I am speaking to you with urgency today to tell you, it is time to rekindle a holy expectancy. Expectation is the spiritual womb in which miracles are conceived. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and hope is a confident expectation of good things to come. Without that expectation, your faith has no substance. It is a hollow belief. I am calling you to remember who I am. I am not a man, that I should lie. I am not limited by your past experiences or by what you see as possible in the natural world. I am the God who spoke worlds into existence out of nothing. I am the God who poured the Red Sea. I am the God who raises the dead. The impossible is the arena in which I do my best work. I am challenging you to stop praying safe, small prayers that you think you can accomplish on your own. I am calling you to dream again with me. I want you to bring me an empty container of faith that is so large, it frightens you. Your level of expectation sets the boundary for your blessing. If you come to me with a teaspoon of expectation, you will leave with a teaspoon of blessing. If you come to me with a bucket, you will leave with a bucketful. If you have the faith to believe for a river, I will give you a river. So lift up your eyes. Enlarge the vision of your heart. Approach me with the wide-eyed, confident faith of a child who knows that their Father is good and powerful and loves to give good gifts. Watch with expectation for my answer. It is on its way. Your hope is rising. Your expectation for miracles is being rekindled. I am about to reveal your ultimate identity and my final, unbreakable promise to you. To stop listening now would be to turn your back on the sunrise just as it is about to break forth. It would truly grieve my heart to see you miss this glorious conclusion. Stay until the very end. My beloved, in the midst of all these urgent matters of your daily life, there is one ultimate reality that you have allowed to grow dim in your heart. You have become so focused on building your life on earth that you have forgotten your ultimate identity and your glorious, eternal destiny. You are the bride of Christ, and your King is returning for you. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a metaphor. It is the most profound and certain reality of your existence, and it is meant to shape everything about how you live your life today. You have become distracted by the temporary affairs of this world, entangled in its cares and its ambitions, forgetting that you are royalty, betrothed to the King of the universe. The way you are living does not always reflect the glorious calling you have received. You have been living more like a permanent resident of this fallen world than ambassador from a heavenly kingdom. It is urgent that you reawaken to this truth and begin to live in a state of readiness. What does it mean to be ready? It means to live with your lamp full of oil. The oil is not your good works or your religious activities. The oil is your intimacy with me, your personal, vibrant, love relationship with my Son. It means you must purify your heart to consciously and continually cast off everything that entangles and defiles you. It is a call to holiness, not out of legalistic fear, but out of a passionate love for your bridegroom, desiring to be a pure and spotless bride for him. I am calling you to live with an eternal perspective. This changes everything. It changes what you worry about. It changes what you invest your time and money in. It changes how you respond to trials and to triumphs. When you know that this life is just the short prelude to an eternal wedding feast, the temporary struggles of this world lose their power over you. I am not calling you to disengage from the world, but to engage with it differently, with a sense of purpose, urgency, and a joyful, longing heart for the day of my Son's return. This is the glorious destiny for which you were created. Live in light of it. Prepare your heart. Your King is coming. My child, as we come to the end of this conversation, I must leave you with a promise that is the very anchor for your soul. On the days you feel you have failed me, on the days you look at your life and the gap between who you are and who you want to be seems impossibly wide, this is the truth you must cling to. The journey of your faith, from the first moment you believe until the day you see me face to face, is a work that I have authored. And I, the author, am also the finisher. Your salvation and your sanctification, the process of you becoming more like my Son, are my responsibility, and I do not fail. You look at your struggles, your repeated stumbles in the same areas, your slow progress, and you are tempted to despair. You fear that my patience with you has run out, that you have exhausted my grace, and that I will eventually give up on you. This is a profound misunderstanding of who I am and the covenant I have made with you. You are a masterpiece under construction. When a master artist begins a great work, does he abandon it halfway through because the canvas is messy or the marble is not yet taking its final form? No. He sees the finished product in his mind's eye from the very beginning, and he works with patient skill and unwavering commitment until what he envisioned is a reality. You are my masterpiece. I envisioned you in holiness and glory before time began, and I will not stop working in you, on you, and through you until that vision is complete. Do not give up in the middle of the process. The mess you sometimes see in your life does not alarm me. It is simply the construction zone where I am doing my most beautiful work. It is my good pleasure, my deepest desire, to one day present you blameless and with great and exceeding joy before my throne. I will not fail in this desire. So be confident in this one thing, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. The pressure to perfect yourself is not on you. It is on me. Your responsibility is to yield, to trust, to surrender to the hands of the artist. When you fall, do not lie there in shame. Get up, come to me, receive my forgiveness and my grace, and trust that even your failure will be used by me in the process of your completion. Rest, my child. Rest in my faithfulness to finish what I have started. My beloved, you have received this urgent message. You have opened your heart to my love, my correction, and my empowerment. You have felt my presence and have heard my voice. This entire, intimate conversation was not intended to terminate on you. It was not just for your comfort, though I long for you to be comforted. It was not just for your information, though I long for you to know the truth. This was for your transformation, and it was for your mobilization. You have been filled up so that you can be poured out. You have received this living water not to become a stagnant reservoir, but to become a life-giving river that flows out from you into the dry and thirsty lands of the world around you. This urgent message of love, repentance, and hope is not a secret to be kept. It is a treasure to be shared. Now, having received it, I am sending you out as my ambassador of reconciliation. The world is hurting. It is filled with people who are living the very same struggles we have just discussed, but they do not know the source of their pain or the one who holds the cure. They are striving, comparing, carrying burdens, living in unforgiveness, and walking in fear, all without the hope that you possess. I am now calling you to be my love letter to them. Your life is to be my message. Be my hands to serve the weak and the weary person you will encounter today. Be my feet to go to the lost and the lonely, to walk across the room or across the street to show someone they are not invisible. Be my voice to speak a word of hope to the person who is drowning in despair. You do not need a grand strategy or a perfect script. You only need a willing heart and a life that is being changed by me. Do not hide the light I have rekindled in you under a bushel. Let it shine brightly in your home, in your workplace, and in your community. Let the change in your character, the peace in your spirit, and the joy in your countenance be a powerful testimony to my goodness. This is your great commission. This is your urgent purpose. Go now. I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. I have now commanded you to go and be my love in a hurting world, and as my word ignites your spirit, you are asking, how, Lord? Here is your first act of obedience, by sending this urgent message where your feet cannot yet travel. This is a prophetic moment to release my voice to the ends of the earth. Your giving becomes the very fire of my spirit, carried on the wind to ignite hearts I am calling back to myself. I anoint your gift and declare my word, sent through you, will not return to me void but will accomplish everything I desire. And for your faithfulness, I will now open the windows of heaven for you, pouring out a blessing you do not have room enough to contain. Obey this command to go. Give generously now through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and release the harvest. This urgent word was not an accident. It was a divine appointment for your very soul. Now, I am calling you to respond, to seal this moment before the noise of the world returns. Let the heavens record your answer, and let every force of darkness be put on notice of your new allegiance. Declare with unshakable faith by writing, "Speak, Lord. I am listening." This is more than a comment. It is your covenant of attentiveness, the first step into the new thing I am doing in your life. Watch now as I honor your response and begin to reveal my heart to you in ways you have never imagined. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.